BGN Aquariums club meet. I hope you're all well today. It's going to be hopefully going to be a great meet again today once people start coming in, and we can start discussing what we've been doing this week in the aquarium, I suppose. So this is the live version of my channel. My channel is rainbow fish orientated and community tank orientated more than as well, really. Mainly based on rainbow fish. It's I release long form videos at 3:15 every Friday, and I'm kind of cutting back on releasing shorts at the moment, so I'll try something out. But these live, I'm going to start doing. We started doing a live stream on a Saturday afternoon whilst I do the maintenance on my tanks. Then we finish off by having a chat and that. Obviously, I talk throughout the stream anyway, and we end up having a chat. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing the live fish club throughout the week as well. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the days I'm going to try to get it done, and hopefully take it from there. Good afternoon, Diogo. How are you today? Hope you're well. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining today again. Last time, didn't I make you a moderator last time? I'm just wondering, mate, if I did, has it stayed on? If not, I'll put it back on for you. So yeah, so today we're just going to be a general chat about anything aquarium based, really. If anyone's got any questions. And Mexicali Fish Keeper, hello, my mate. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you are well. Just to introduce myself, I'm Russ. I do a YouTube channel mainly based around rainbow fish, but a lot of it's community tank based as well, with rainbow fish being like really the ultimate community fish tank fish. So if you have a community tank, it's worth looking at the videos anyway, just because they're kind of same methods, same methodology, really. Doing great. Thanks for asking. Not a problem, Mexicali. It's nice that you're here today. Thanks for joining us. It's Pammy Singh. Hello. Hi there, mate. Thanks for joining us today. Mexicali, you mostly have community tanks, yeah? That's good, mate. You should check out some of my videos, mate, because it is rainbow fish orientated, but that's mainly due to the YouTube algorithm. It's just community tank stuff, really. You're in India, are you, Pammy? Nice to join us today. It's been the past few meets that we've had, it's been a bit crazy, really, because we have had people all over the world. So it's nice to see that you're here from India. Thanks for joining us. So I release videos at 3:15 on a Friday, and I do shorts as well. I kind of cutting down on doing the short content at the moment. One, really, because not many people watch it, and I don't really know if the short form content is affecting my long content, to be perfectly honest, on the YouTube algorithm, obviously. So yeah, it's one of those. I'm just going to hold back doing the shorts for a little bit, just to see if it is that's hindering the long form. Because I think my long form content is pretty good. It's informative. and I think it should get a lot more views actually than what it does on YouTube. YouTube just sent me an email to tell me that I'm live. Good afternoon, Ian. How are you today? You've been gardening this morning. I hope your garden looks well then. You've been gardening this morning so you could watch me. Thank you so much. It means a lot, that. And I will not let my coffee go cold today. Because it did last time. I was still drinking it an hour into the stream. So what have we all been doing over the past couple of days? I've had a couple of things, really. It's fish tank orientated. I have put a new plant into the rainbow fish tank, a different type of Anubias that I've never seen before. And I can't think what the Anubias is called. And I can't find the label. It's a different type of Anubias anyway. It's kind of like a triangular leaf. It's really nice. I've never seen that before. I went down to my local fish store to try and get some Rhinokai mini. And they didn't have any, but I did see this. So I kind of saw a different type of Anubias that I've never seen before and decided I might as well buy it. And I've also ordered online some Rhinokai mini for the CO2 tank. And I've also ordered a grass to come along the front of the angel tank as well. It's a bit of a longer grass. I can't remember the name of that either. So I'm not great with the names on them because they're all crazy, aren't they? I'm not great with the names. You need a balance to grow your channel. You do, mate. It's a bit weird because I do shorts. I've done shorts. I do short pretty much every morning, and I see some other people's content, and it's like, why are they getting more watches than what I am? And don't figure it out, but they don't do shorts. So I am just gonna give it a month where I don't really do many shorts, and then see if it helps the long content. I'm not sure. Good afternoon, Aquascapes. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you're well. So yeah, so I've got quite a few plants en route. So yeah, that'd be good. And they're supposed to be arriving Friday. So depending on what time they come, I may do them. I may actually plant them on stream. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. It might be something to add to the live stream. But I've ordered Rhinokai mini. I had the Rhinokai mini in the CO2 tank, which I know we've not really seen yet because I've not put the video out to that yet. And it was growing in really well, and I've let the Anubias that's behind that. I've got Anubias set. So on the CO2 tank, I've got a row of grass that's really has carpeted superbly. Really, it's amazing. And I've got Rhinokai mini, a row of Rhinokai mini, and then behind that, I've built like a wall, and on it is Anubias. And the Anubias is being really, really thick, so I've kind of let it thicken out. But what I did thicken it out was blocked the light to the Rhinokai mini. So a bit of the Rhinokai mini has kind of died off. So I want to get some more replanted into that. I've cut the Anubias back. May have to cut it back a little bit more, and I'll keep an eye on it. You learn by your mistakes, don't you? I'm new to the CO2 thing, and Anubias grows pretty quick in a CO2 tank. So yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. But I'm hoping that the build video to that will be out hopefully within the next couple of weeks now. Once I get the Rhinokai in and it starts growing in, I'll get the build video out. Yeah, I'm new to the live streams, and I find the live streams are doing better for my channel than anything really. I will keep doing the short form Mexicali, but it's just It's just sometimes you'll put one out and you'll put something out and it'll get like 12,000 views, and then you'll put one out the next day and it'll get 200. And it's just like, it kind of drives you a bit mad. It gets a bit disheartening with the shorts. The short ones are really, really hard to crack, I think. Bettina Hoy from Iran. Hope you are well. You have goldfish with white spot. Or you need to, depending in Iran, mate, I don't know if you can buy the treatments in Iran. There's certain parts of the world where you can't buy fish treatments. With white spot, it's quite good to put your water up to 82 degrees, but you've got goldfish, haven't you? And I'm not sure whether they tolerate that temperature. But if you can buy white spot or ick treatment, then yeah, treat it. Get it treated as soon as before it spreads. Jeremy Salazar, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for the aquariums on point. Awesome job. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Appreciate you popping in as well, buddy. It's nice of you to join us. Yeah, the live streams are Mexicali. Yeah, they do help. They do help with the watch hours. It's kind of like I'm off work on holiday for the next 2 weeks, so I decided that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, additional to the Saturday stream that I do, and just try and promote my channel as much as possible. And I'll be honest, there's quite a lot of my long form content that's been getting watched this week, so I do think that it's helping. You can, if you can buy some white spot treatment, mate. Yeah, get that white spot treatment in there as soon as possible. Really, just go off the dosage that it says in the cap on the side of the bottle. But yeah, get that treated. Yeah, Mexicali is the same. Salt and high temperature. But yeah, if you can get a treatment, then you're all good, mate. All good. I'm not sure what temperature goldfish can take, to be perfectly honest. Black algae in your aquarium, Bettina. Well, you can treat. Is it the blackbeard algae that you've got? It can be treated if you directly treat it with liquid CO2. Otherwise, it's kind of cut your light back a little bit, mate, and maybe try not to feed as much for a couple of weeks at least. Just take some of the nutrients out of the water. A good water change as well will help, but you're never going to stop algae completely in an aquarium. It's just not going to happen, and it's something we all kind of have to live with, really. Now, the CO2 tank kind of doesn't get anywhere near as much algae, so I do think that helps. But doses of sea salt, yeah, mate, it would help, yeah. But just be careful, obviously, where you go with it being gold. So I've got a few people in now. So the last stream, we kind of looked into like water testing and things like that. And it's quite interesting that some people don't water test and some people do. And everyone kind of does for the ammonia and the nitrites, etc., but not for the GH and KH. And it's a bit of a weird one, really. And it's one of those that's still up in the air, isn't it? Some people do and some people don't. Cookie Ginger, thank you for joining us today. I hope you're not, but if you are, good luck to you, man. So today we wanted to kind of discuss all kinds of things aquarium based, from feeding, climatizing your fish. How do you all climatize your fish? This is another one. I kind of float them in a bag, but I do bits of tap my tank water into there like every 5 minutes. I'll put a half a cup in just to get the transition right. And where I buy my fish, I trust the water. So when I put my fish in, I tip them out of the bag into the tank, because I think that's probably the least stressful way of doing it. And I trust the water from where I buy the fish, like I say. And if you don't trust the water of where you're buying your fish, why were you buying your fish there anyway? That's the way I look at it. And I do it that way. But I know a lot of people tip the fish into a net, don't they? And I think that's probably more stressful. Well, how do other people climatize their fish? I probably climatize mine over like a 30-minute to an hour, really, depending on how long it's took me to get them home. Oh, that's brilliant, Mexicali. That's kind of the answers I'm looking for, mate, on these fish club streams. That's perfect. So yeah, so yours do fine at 87. So yeah, we'll if you can crank that temperature up to weight like past 82, white spot is struggles, doesn't it? And you're in Arizona, 114 degrees. Oh my god, mate! I'm in Manchester, and England, Manchester, UK, and it's about 9 degrees. Proper, not warm today. Jenny, hi. How are you today? Thanks a lot. I do have some nice fish. I do have 4 tanks at the moment on the go, which are all pretty good. I did spend a bit of time working on my shrimp tank yesterday as well, which I don't really do. I don't spend any time on the shrimp tank. I just let it be. But I did need to just like trim a bit of the plants down, and I ended up taking. So I have this moss. I can't think what it's called. It's a floating moss, but you can, or they say you can tie it down. But the only thing is, when you tie it down, because it's a floating moss, all it's ever tried to do is float, and it kind of doesn't look right after a bit. It kind of, yeah, it looks a bit crappy. So I took it out, and I have got some Java moss that's kind of growing over. So I think I'm just going to let the Java moss take over this piece of wood that this floating moss was strapped to. And I've just trimmed down the red plants a little bit and replanted them. But as I was doing it, I've done like a 50% water change on it yesterday as well, which was something I don't really do on my shrimp tank. But as I was cleaning it out, the amount of baby shrimp that are in there is incredible. And there's quite a few buried in there as well. So kind of happy with that, because I used to struggle really badly with shrimp because they're not the same as a fish tank. You better just leaving them alone. I got up this morning, first thing I did was I walked in was check my shrimp tank to see if everything was still alive, and everything was buzzing around. There's no bodies in there, so kind of glad that I got away with doing such a large water change. But as I was moving things about, it just got so like murky, and that I had to do a water change. Jenny, if you have goldfish and koi, I have got some koi down at my parents' house. We've got a pond down there, and there's some koi in there, and a beautiful tench actually. And the tench is like, it's got to be at least 30 years old. The tench in my parents' pond, incredible. I'll be honest with you, Diogo. I'm not quite sure. I've never had discus. I have my angels, and to be honest, I don't really think angels are good tank mates with anything really. I get away with it. They're better off with smaller fish. Like I do have cardinals in there with them, and there is crebensis in there as well, and plex and cories, but they all occupy a different part of the tank. I've never had discus, but my angels, when they're spawning, are quite aggressive. As if you may have seen on the stream on Monday, as I was talking, I clocked in the corner, like over my shoulder, it was like fight going on with the angelfish. So I personally wouldn't put them together, but I don't know if you can put them together and get away with it, because I've never had discus. They're not really something I've ever researched, discus as well. But I know my angels are only angels by name, definitely not by nature. Hi Frank, thanks for joining us today. Nice tank. What is that 180 going? That's I take it you mean that there. So that's a 300 litre angelfish tank, mate. Aqua One. It's running an FX4 filter, and there is quite a powerful sponge filter in there as well, just to create a little bit more flow. When I built that, it's got 9 caves. At the moment, though, I do think we've had a little bit of a problem in there, because I don't know if you can see, but so behind the Lotus, there's a piece of wood that's fallen over, which we'll have to go in and sort out. But then on behind me at the back, there is a piece of wood that's fallen over completely. And there's not really much you can do about that, because the crebensis have been digging under the. So there's 9 caves in this aquarium, but the crebensis dig their own out. Blows your mind, doesn't it? So nine caves, and then there's 2 or 3 shot bought ones in there as well. And yeah, they dig their own. And what they've done, they've dug in, and some of the stones gone in on it. So it's knocked a piece of wood over. So I can't really do anything about it. But it's kind of like a forest escape. And now it kind of looks like a tree's fallen over. So that's what I'll say. That's what the look I was going for. Try to find a cheap big aquarium. Yeah, mate, I would. Good luck with that. Second hand's probably your best bet, isn't it? But just watch those seals when you're buying second hand. I would just keep an eye on it. It's just aged tanks can leak pretty easily. So thanks, Mexi. That's really kind of you. I'm hoping that it grows. So that's really good of you, that, mate. Thank you very much. The red plant, DVND, thanks for joining us today, buddy. The red plant behind me there is a Lotus Tiger Lily. I have trained it to grow bushy at the bottom by trimming the. So every now and again, it'll send a runner out to try and get a lily to the surface. And if you cut that off before it gets to the surface, it tends to just send out the short runs with lilies on, and you get a lovely bushy plant. And it doesn't take much. That is the red one. And it, to be honest, it just looks spectacular. Like that just does look awesome, doesn't it? Yeah, Mexicali, they do. Angelfish are crazy when they're spawning. And in this tank here, so it's a bit of a crazy one in this tank. So I bought 6 angelfish from a place, got them really cheap, to be perfectly honest. And they've kind of paired off now. But the black marble one that's in there, just seeing if you could see it, you can actually see him, just to see her there. So they're supposed to be monogamous, aren't they? And she's had 3 separate males. And in one time, I wish I was filming it, because I tend to try and film the spawning anyway to get some good footage. And she was spawning with one male, and halfway through spawning, another male jumped in, and she carried on spawning with him. So it was a bit of a weird one, really. But now there's 2 different breeding pairs in there, and it's normally on separate halves of the tank. And luckily, they do breed like a week to 10 days between each other. So otherwise, it'd be a blooming nightmare. Because when they're spawning on that side, everything comes onto this side. So, and vice versa. So imagine if they were both spawning at the same time. It'd be horrendous. And then I would have to split them. But at the moment, it's a 4 foot wide tank, so it's there's no problem really. There's a little bit of aggression during spawning, but there's never any injuries. And to be honest, it tends to be as soon as I go near the tank, they stop because they think they're getting fed. So it's one of them, innit? Thanks, DVND. They are a beautiful plant, mate. They really are, and they're easy. They're a bulb plant, so you kind of have to, when you put it in, you can't bury the bulb. So what I did was the ceramic O-rings that you get for plants. I got 3 of those and just put them over it, so it wedged it down. And I kept it like that for a month until it kind of rooted itself in, and then removed them. And I think it's pulled itself. It's pulled the bulb under anyway, which I do have one in my rainbow fish tank as well, and it's done exactly the same there. But since that's been in, it's sent off a runner that's started growing more lilies out, and it's also produced a sister bulb. And the sister bulb was visible for about 6 months, and now it's pulled itself under the gravel, which you're not supposed to bury them, but when they bury themselves, what do? And they don't. They're doing fine. They're doing really, really well. So, but yeah, they're well worth looking at, mate, because they're really easy to look after, and probably one of the most spectacular plants that you can get in the hobby. But you do need a big tank. You're not going to put one of them in a 60 litre unless that's the only plant you want in there. I know, mate. I don't. I think it's just a myth, Mexicali, with the monogamy thing. I do think, yeah, I think it's a myth. Because when you look it up and there's loads of books on them, and they're all like, yeah, the monogamous, they breed for life, and they don't. They don't. Definitely not. My female angel's been through 3 different males, and you know, and she has kind of settled now. For now. But yeah, mate, I think it's a myth, that monogamy thing. I don't think it's true at all. I launched a video on Friday regarding euthanizing fish when you need to. You know, when you've tried all your treatments and it just doesn't help. So I did a poll on Facebook and got kind of barred from quite a few Facebook groups for doing a poll on how people euthanize fish, but the chat just got just went crazy. I actually took it off after like 30 minutes. So how do other people euthanize? There's only one way, isn't there, by the RSPCA? They say using clove oil, but if you've not watched the video, it is well worth checking out, guys, because it's surprising just how many people do it wrong. So Jenny, are you still in? Try to look for a cheap aquarium. Yeah, we'll go back to discussing that. It's if you're gonna buy secondhand, just make sure you know what you're buying. And I would do a test outside first. Definitely fill it full and leave it for 24 hours. I really would, just to test the seals. And then I'd have a look down before you empty it. Just look down the sides to see if any of the seals have got any sight that there's water coming through the seal. Just be careful. I know you can reseal aquariums now quite easily. Apparently, it's not something I've ever done, but just be careful if you do buy secondhand. But good luck to you trying to get a cheap one. I hope you do. Will that be your first one? I'm not sure if you're still in the stream, but if that'll be your first one, good luck. What you're planning on putting in it? Yeah, I spent actually a good couple of hours working on a shrimp tank last night. And it's kind of, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. It still needs a little bit more work. I think I'll probably do that tonight. Maybe another small water change, because I've just let the shrimp tank kind of do its own thing. It kind of looked, once I started moving things about, it was in quite a bad state, really. It is something I'm going to have to do a little bit of work in there. I'll have to see, because I don't like doing the big water. I don't like doing water changes on the shrimp tank because you're not supposed to. So I don't know whether to stick a couple of cories in there just to keep the substrate moving a little bit of movement down at the bottom, because it's only got a sponge filter, so you don't really get much air movement from it here. Or I may even just put an air stone in there. Is anyone else out there who have like shrimp tanks? How do they keep the water moving with a little air pump powered sponge filter? I'm just thinking, would an air stone be better? I think it would. Yeah, I might actually fix an air stone to it. Try and get a bit of movement in the water. On a Saturday, I normally do the live streams while I do my maintenance. I do the maintenance on the rainbow fish tank, which is like 40% water change, and then like any maintenance that needs to be done on the plants, I tend to try and trim out a few of the crappier looking Java fern leaves and some of the Anubias ones that are getting a bit tired. And then I do obviously keep an eye on the Lotus Tiger Lily as well. And then once all that's done, I do a 10% water change on the angel fish tank. And but that can vary, because if them angels are spawned, then I don't touch it. I don't like to mess about. If there's any spawning action going on, I don't like to mess about. I like to leave them with it. Sammy Fire, thank you for joining us today, mate. It's really kind of you. Nice of you to spend a bit of your time of your day to pop in and say hello. You have an aquarium and your only mate expensive fish died. Oh, mate, I'm so sorry for that. I know what you feel, mate. I know how you feel. It's painful, isn't it? This tank had been running probably about 8 months, when one afternoon I was sat watching it and a Corridora just kind of nosedived. He was swimming along the middle of the tank and he just nosedived to the bottom. And over the next couple of hours, I lost pretty much everything in the tank. And it's like, don't know what was wrong. Tests, nothing wrong. There's another fish tank at the side of it, so it's not like the water had been poisoned by anything in the air, because surely both tanks would have been done. Yeah, it's quite heartbreaking, isn't it? It's not good when you lose them, especially when some of them cost quite a lot of money. Painful times. And I've got some plants coming, so we will do a live stream on Friday as well. And I do have some plants coming on Friday, so hopefully they'll come before the stream, and then we can kind of do the planting on the stream as well. Hopefully they don't come during the stream. Mind if they do, we can still do the planting, can't we? But yeah, it should be good. Got some Rhinokai Mini coming. The Tropica Blister packs though, I couldn't get any grown plants. Had to get the tissue culture. So I've got one of those coming, and I've got a couple of other things coming. I can't remember what I've ordered. It's like a grass, and it's going to go across the angel tank. So I did with the angel tank. I've done the same with the moss that I used in the shrimp tank. It's like a floating moss, and you can tie it down, but because it's a floating moss, all it's ever trying to do is float. and it just doesn't look right. You can keep it trimmed, but it never settles down, if you will. It's always trying to get out of what you've tied it down with. So it kind of didn't look right. So I've ended up taking it out of the shrimp tank and I've taken it out of the angel tank. But I want something to grow along the front of the angel tank. So I've looked at this like taller grass. Hopefully it grows to about, I think it's about 6 to 8 centimeters. So which is like 3 to 4 inch. So I'm kind of hoping that it'll take, because there's only one light on this tank. So even though the front looks like it gets light, it doesn't get a massive amount of light. So you just got to watch what plants you put in there. So you've Sammy Fire. That's not great. Clown loach are a bit of a unruly fish. Anyway, they really are. They're proper unruly. And yeah, I said I've never really used a surface skimmer. It's something I've never really used. But I know you do have to watch. You do have to watch, especially for fry and the smaller fish getting in there. Aquafunk, hello, buddy. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you're doing well. There's quite a few of us in here today, guys. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Join in the chat by all means. If you are a subscriber to the channel, thank you. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, just dink that like button and the subscribe button, and it means so much. It just helps with the growing of the channel. Good afternoon, the plug. Thanks for joining us, mate. It doesn't matter you're 36 minutes late. It doesn't matter. I was actually on time today. I was a couple of minutes late the other day. But I don't know why I kind of leave everything till the last minute. Oh, I don't. I got set up and I thought, I've not done this. I need to do that. Make a brew, which is I'm going to finish off. Because it was like 40-minute old cup of coffee. It was going cold. Oh, you well, buddy? How's it going today? Why are you 36 minutes late anyway, mate? Have you been busy today? We've yes, mate. You chill and have that coffee. Busy morning, yeah. Yeah, mate. I've been the same. I've had a bit of a washing machine nightmare me over the past couple of days. So today was the test to see if everything was okay. Yeah, my morning's been all right, mate. Like I say, just sorting out the washing machine, and so on Saturday, my washing machine started smelling like it was on fire, and I rang a guy in where I live to see if I could repair it, and he gave me an idea of doing something, and it worked. So today was the test, and I was hoping that it didn't leak because I don't want a leaky washing machine in my kitchen. So anyway, everything was great. So my morning's been good, mate. To be perfectly honest, I kind of got away with what could have been an expensive thing has turned out to be cost me about £5. X Gamer 69, thanks for joining us today, mate. All the way from India. We have got another guy in actually from India as well, mate. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking the time out of your day, popping in. I take it, are you a fish owner as well, mate? If so, what do you have? The guy that was in here from before from India, he's a goldfish guy. So what fish do you have, buddy? Luckily, mate, it wasn't a costly thing. Thank God for that. It was, it could have been an expensive fix, and it's actually cost me £5. And I did actually ring the guy and left him a Google review, like you do. Because at the end of the day, he could have easily come out to my property, done what he's told me to do, and charged me £100. He could have done that. So yeah, luckily, what a guy. Well deserving of a 5-star Google review, to be perfectly honest. You was thinking this live is fake? Nah, mate, it's definitely not fake. As somebody actually accused me of using green screen the other week on a video, which was pretty mad. So kind of had to look at it as being a compliment, because I was sat in front of my tank like I am now, and they were like, "Well done, you nearly got away with a green screen." And I thought, all right, so if he thinks I've green screened that, fair dues. So yeah, I was kind of buzzing that they said it. No, mate, not bad at all. I know there's not many honest people about anymore, is there? But when you come across a company like that, isn't it great just to recommend them anyway? It's well worth recommending them. It's not many people will. Sammy, can I show and tell you the names of your fish? I will, mate. Yeah, I'll just bear with me. I will. I just need to unplug us from the power source and take us on a bit of a walk. I'll give you a guided tour of the tanks. Yes, yeah, mate. It's not a fake. It's not a fake stream. Everything's live here. Even me, and I don't feel it. I feel half dead, to be honest. I feel like I'm about 98. So just turn the camera around. Okay, so this is my rainbow fish aquarium, fully planted, all live plants. In here I have, so they're the Bozeman. That's a blue rainbow fish, a Lake Katubu. I do have a Cribensis in here. I have the daddy of the tank, the black red-tailed shark, who's now easily 4.5 years old, and he is like just awesome. I have so that one there is a Susi rainbow fish, and like other rainbow fish, he tends to colour up more to the evening, whereas rainbow fish tend to colour up more in the mornings. That's a western rainbow fish. I've got some silver tip tetras in there, and I think well, we have that's a Madagascan rainbow. I think that covers all the rainbows I have in here, mate, to be perfectly honest. I did have Park and Sony in here as well, but they both passed away on the same day, which is a little bit weird. And then come over to my angelfish tank. That's the angel aquarium. So in here I have my angels. That's the female that I was on about earlier on in the stream. That's the male she's paired off with. And then we have 2 more here. And then there's one in the middle over there. I did actually lose an angel. So there's 5 in here now. There's about 20 cardinal tetras in there, although you can only just see a few of them. Red Phantom tetra. I do have Cribensis in here as well. These have just spawned actually, but they're kind of new to it, so they've not done too great this time. That amazing plant there is the Lotus Tiger Lily, which is just looking exceptional at the moment. And again, I have all types of Corridora in here as well. And one of the best of the cleanup crew, the Otto Synclus. Now, I was saying I bought the Anubius earlier. That's the Anubius I've bought. It's something like called Ticely or something like that. I'm not quite sure on the name. But yeah, so I picked that up yesterday. I've done a bit of work on the shrimp tank. It still needs a bit more work. So in here, that was all the moss. I've took all that moss out, but there is like Java moss growing at the back there. And there's absolutely loads of shrimp in here at the moment. It's incredible. Like I say, I kind of let this do its own thing, really. I don't really do much with that. And then over here, my CO2 tank. Actually, I might be able, I don't know if you can see him in there. It's a little clown pleco in there. In there is CBDs, Celestial Pearl Danios, mainly. Well, I say mainly. There's that, and there's six albino corridors in here. So the grass is carpeted across pretty well. The Rhinokai Mini, like I say, was struggling because I've let the Anubias behind it kind of get overgrown. That boost is looking pretty awesome as well. I've had a flower off the boost as well. And then behind it's plus just super red. And I'm quite remember the name of the gold plant there. But that's the back's what I've just been waiting to grow in. So that's the tour of the tanks. Let me just get back into position and get the phone back on. Just bear with us, guys. Okay, get us charged up. So yeah, that's so they're my tanks that I've got running at the moment. Right, we're going back on the chat a little bit. I'll try and catch up with you all. But as for like names, I know some people name the fish. I've only ever named my betters, and it's either Highlander or McLeod. So that's kind of how it is from the film Highlander. If you don't know the reference, the film Highlander, there can be only one. So yeah, that's how they get the name, either Highlander or McLeod. They've always been that. I alternate the names. So when I've had betters. So William Mayfield, thanks for joining us today. If you're still here, the big pink plant is a Lotus Tiger Lily, buddy. No problem, Sammy Fire, not a problem. I know, mate. The plug, yeah, mate. Everyone's dodgy, aren't they? Everyone's just out to rip each other off nowadays. So it is nice to see a company that aren't. Like I say, he just asked, "Oh, will you leave me a Google review?" Wow, mate. I will do more than gladly leave you a Google review. X-Gamer, yeah, hopefully you've just seen those other tanks. Hopefully you saw them. I can do another walk around later on in the stream anyway, if need be. Aquafunk, thanks, buddy. And I know, mate, that Tiger Lily is awesome, isn't it? It's looking the best it's looked, to be perfectly honest. That's been in the tank it's probably about 18 months it's been in the tank. And it has never looked so good. It's always kind of looked a little bit weedy for the first 12 months, but in the past 6, it's just like, boom, proper trained it to be low growing. It did send a runner out to the surface a couple of weeks ago. It did a sneaky one because it kind of grew up and it was kind of hiding it, and it grew itself up a piece of wood as well, which has fallen over, which may be why maybe it's me that's knocked it over or dislodged it when I was removing the Tiger Lily. They can overgrow your tank, mate. They can. Aquafunk, yeah, they can. They can be quite invasive. I think that's why I was talking to a girl yesterday in the aquarium where I go regularly, and we were talking about quite a lot of floating plants in the UK have been banned. you can't buy them anymore because they're quite invasive. So you can't buy quite a few floating plants like the water lettuce for ponds. You can't, technically, legally, you're not allowed to buy them in the UK anymore. Even though you can get them from places, but I think that's more like hobbyists swapping around a little bit. Same with Australia. Australia struggle getting plants because of the quarantine laws. Is something we found out on Saturday when this guy came in. It was quite interesting. I didn't realise. I knew they had quite tight borders and quarantine laws. I just never really connected with the hobby and realised that you can't get any plants over there. They can only really get plants that are native to Australia. Little pet vlogs, thanks for joining us today, buddy. What is the best soil for planted fish tank? I'm trying to do one, but I don't know what kind of soil to get. I've watched a ton of videos about it. Okay, so I use Tropica or the Fluval. Now you can get loads of different ones. People use pond compost and even like garden soil and cap it in really, really, really well. Regarding soil, I'm kind of a believer of you get what you pay for. And if you want your plants to thrive, then to me, buy the better quality soil. It's somewhere where I don't believe you should be skimping on the money. If you're going to set up an aquarium and you want your plants to be perfect, then feed them good quality food, and the first source of their food is obviously through the roots, so good quality soil. So yeah, I use a Tropica or the Fluval, to be perfectly honest, and they work well for me. And then after about 6 months, I then start regularly using root tabs, and I'm in the process of testing my own. I have bought all the stuff to make my own root tabs. We're currently testing it in my rainbow fish tank with just one. But I've run a few tests and you don't get a massive ammonia spikes from them. So it's currently I've put one just under the lotus tiger lily in the rainbow fish tank. So it's just a case of seeing how that does with this before, and then I'll do a video showing you how to make your own. Because let's face it, if you can make your own, it's damn sight cheaper than buying expensive ones from the shops. I hope that kind of answers your question there, little pet vlogs. Try and get the better one you can afford to buy, I suppose. But if you've got kids, do you buy them cheap food so they don't develop well? Or do you buy them the best food if you can afford to so the bones develop better? That's kind of how I look at it. The better food, the better. So, and then obviously fertilizers as well, because your plants will need feeding. So liquid fertilizers into the water column, and then that's a different subject altogether, because it can be quite expensive. But if you can get one that's suitable, that works for you, and it's reasonably cheap, like I have, then definitely go down that route. Why do they always recommend plecos for beginners? The plug, I don't know, mate. So I went into my local fish store yesterday, and they've got quite a large pleco in there, and they're trying to get rid of them for like 20 quid, £20. And that's again someone new to the hobby that went into a shop, bought a pleco, and bought the cheapest one. Didn't realise why they're the cheapest one. And it's outgrown the tank. I mean, it was probably about 30 centimeters, so it's about a foot in length, 12 inches. Crazy, and people don't know what they're buying, do they? I had it actually, mate. I bought piranhas years ago, and when I'd had them for a couple of years, and so I decided to get rid. And I took them to a store where I used to go regular, and they took them off me, and they sold it to another guy. And the next time I went in the shop, I was like, my piranha's gone. He was like, yeah, guy bought it, but he killed it, mate. I was like, what? And he'd thrown in like a piece of haddock or cod, I think it was. that he bought from us just from a fishmonger's and just put a big piece of fish in it, and thought that this it makes you think, doesn't it? Because the piranha was probably about 6 to 8 inches, and he put in a piece of fish that was 6 to 8 inches the same size. At what point does that even think that fish is going to eat all that? And he just left it in there, and within a couple of days it died. So I felt kind of bad, really, that I'd decided to get rid of him, and then he ended up bloody dying. Kind of annoying, isn't it? Elfish, hello, buddy. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you are well. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to pop in and say hello. It's really appreciated. I agree, the plug, yeah, little snails and guppies. And yeah, and I'm going to say platies, but actually platies not always that easy, are they? Some people seem to struggle with platies, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, guppies and they breed like rabbits, don't they? So they're quite a cheap entry level fish to the hobby that you'll buzz over because they breed so rampantly. When you've bought your first fish tank and you're looking in that fish tank and you see little baby fish, there's something there, isn't there, that just goes, wow, boom. You've done something where something's created. You've built something where something's created life in there. I suppose it's like having kids, but I've never had kids, so I don't know. What it is, to me, it's a buzz when you see babies. Same when I come home and I see the angels spawning, or the crebensis will come out of a cave and like 50 little babies will come out after them, and it's like there's something about that. I love it. It's a good part of the hobby. I'm getting the same now with the shrimp. So with my shrimp tank, I really did struggle. I set up a shrimp tank. I struggled for ages with a shrimp tank, and I do watch a guy on YouTube, Richard at Fish Keeping Answers, and I watch him, and he wrote a book, and I bought the book, and I've read the book. And I'll be honest with you, my shrimp tank now is just like explodes. But last night when I was working on it, and I see those shrimp and they're buried, and you see the shrimp are saddled, and you're like, yes, this is just what I want to see. You know things are going right when that's happening. For those that are not sure, saddled. So if you get a red cherry shrimp, if they have on the obviously you've got the head, if they have like a gold saddle, if you will, just behind the head, what that is the female shrimp is making eggs, and they do call it saddled because it kind of looks like a saddle. And she'll build those, she'll make those eggs, and then she will shed her exoskeleton so she can grow a little bit, and she'll pass the eggs. And when she's shed the exoskeleton, she'll release this pheromone. It sends the male shrimp crazy, and one will get lucky, and then she'll pass the eggs through her sperm, and then she'll keep hold of those eggs in its bottom half, and she'll keep fanning water over them, and you'll see it, and they call that buried. And it's just great to see. It's a brilliant process, and you kind of sometimes you'll see saddled, but sometimes you won't see the buried that often. But you'll know something's going on when you see the outer exoskeleton just lay there on the bottom of your tank. It's great when you know that that's happening. You know things are right. You know things are, with shrimp especially, because the smallest of mistakes are shrimp, and you can wipe them out. They do, the plug, yeah. They're very dirty, aren't they? I saw a post actually this morning on Facebook. They said, I've cleaned out my tank yesterday and my plecos pooed everywhere. They can be filthy, can't they? I have 5 in this aquarium here, but it is like massively over filtered. The FX4 is a brilliant piece of kit. If anyone's looking at a new filter, the FX are absolutely amazing. I had an Oase. Was it an Oase? I think it was an Oase in there. I think it was. It was the Oase because I've still got the heater, because the Oase has a built-in heater and I've got the heater now in the tank. But it sprung a leak, so I kind of lost confidence. Got the FX4 and that is just amazing. And then I have a sponge filter in there as well, just to create a bit more flow, just to get the detritus out of the caves that are in there. But my plex, there's 5 plex in there, and so the overfiltration helps massively with that. There should be 5 plex in there, I should say. There might only be 3. There's 2 gold nugget plex in there that I haven't seen since December. So it's a bit of a mystery of whether they're alive or not. I'd just like, if I could see one, then the chances are they're both alive. But I haven't seen any of them, even though when I feed the plex at night when the lights go out, I just never see them. So that's probably why Livosa, because they can live in some can tolerate quite a wide range of water parameters. But yeah, but they can be quite expensive, can't they, as well? I like those white ones. Is it the tiger, like tiger or something like that? They're just like special. But how many different types of pleco are there? There's bloody loads, isn't there? And some of them are amazing. I have a red fin thresher in the rainbow tank as well, which I would like to show you, but it comes out a lot. But as soon as you go near the tank, he's on his toes, well, on his fins, if you will. And he's nowhere to be seen now. I can't really show you him, but he is proper special, beautiful. I do like plecos. I've got 2 starlights in here, male and female, and they have bred once, and I don't know why they've kind of stopped it. It was quite a funny thing really, because I had a pair of breeding crebensis that used this cave in that corner, and the pleco had gone in there, and they were breeding, and he was fanning the eggs, and the cribs wanted to use it, so the cribs couldn't use that cave, so they moved to a cave down to the other side of the tank, but another pair of cribs used that, and they couldn't use that, so the male crib was a little bit, where can I go? got a woman that wants it, and don't know where to take her. Yeah, they do. The plugs, certain ones do, don't they? Like the clown pleco I've got there in this 60 litre, he's out all the time actually, and they'll only grow to like I think about 3 to 4 inches. So he's perfect for in there. And he's probably, I see him more than any of them. And ever since I changed the tank round, so the CO2 tank's been running for 18 months easily. And then a couple of months ago, I changed it all around, pulled everything out, took the wood away, and that's probably the reason I did take the wood out. And he was always in the wood. He just never came out. Now he's always out. I suppose really I should introduce a little bit of wood back into there, just for him. I have got some choya wood actually. I might boil some up and put some choya wood at the back just for him to munch on. Might keep him happy. Whoa. You have an 8 gallon. Should I sell my pleco? Sammy Fire, it depends what type of pleco it is, but depends what type it is. But yeah, 8 gallon, that's not too big, is it? But it depends, like I say, it depends what type of pleco it is. Just keep an eye on it, because they will get too big for the tank if it's is it the, can't think which pleco it is that grows absolutely massive. Is it the common? Can't rightly remember. Yes, Ian, the chat is brilliant again. It's growing, isn't it? It's been really good. It's what I kind of want it to get to. Well, obviously more. Hence, like why we've changed the name to the Fish Club, because I just want loads of people to come in, offer advice. You know, I don't know everything. I'll try and point people in the right direction of how I do things if I know how to do it. But yeah, it's nice to get a few people in and other people offering advice, because that's kind of how I want it to be. I just want it to be a fish club at the end of the day. It's not don't want it to solely be about me. I want everyone to have a bit of a chat and, you know, grow that community. Like you say, the plug, the community will grow stronger. And it is doing really well. It is doing well. Say it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week and next week, and then sadly I'll have to go back to work. But I always do the live stream on a Saturday, and I'll be perfectly honest, if it carries on growing like the way it is, I'll do like a fish club, maybe in the evenings, maybe say like from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evenings, maybe 2 to 3 times a week as well. Because I think it's a great. I love it. To be honest, I really enjoy doing the live streams. It's nice talking to you people out there and getting to know you all and getting to know what fish you have. And you know, it's crazy that people are in from all over the world. It's just really nice to see. The plug, you are definitely staying. You know what? I'm just. Did I add you as a moderator last time, mate? I will add you as a moderator anyway. Because I know you're a regular, mate, anyway, so I've got no problems there. I don't actually know if it gives you any more benefits as a moderator, mate. I'm not quite sure, but tagged it on there for you anyway, mate. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. There's been quite a few heads in today. If any of you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I'd really appreciate it if you could click that subscribe button and the like button, and watch a few of my videos. Hopefully you enjoy. A lot of it is rainbow fish based, but rainbow fish are kind of the ultimate community tank fish. So a lot of the information on my videos that are about rainbow fish will cover any community aquarium fish, really. The reason it's targeted down to rainbow fish is for the YouTube algorithm. If you just do everything aquarium based, YouTube algorithm is not interested. So no matter what fish you look after, if the class is a community fish, it is well worth watching some of my videos. The one I released on Friday is how to euthanize fish safely and humanely. It covers quite a few different methods, and a lot of them aren't recommended at all. In fact, there's only one method to euthanize a poorly fish by the RSPCA, and that's into the video as well. So it is well worth watching if you are a fish keeper and you don't know how to euthanize a fish humanely. It's well worth looking at. Not a problem, the plug. I know, mate. I love it. I like the way that you come in all the time. Your support, your chat's brilliant. So yeah, mate. When you come in, just let me know when you're in, and I'll put you on mod straight away. Thanks, Soft Taco. Thanks for joining us today, mate. Yeah, another regular that's been coming in for the past few meets as well. I'm glad you're enjoying it, buddy. Nice that you can chill at work. To me, I don't think people I work with would say chill. But yeah, nice that you can be here. Sammy Fire, not a problem, mate. Thanks for joining us today, and have a great rest of the day. And hopefully we'll be back on Friday, mate. Hopefully about 2 o'clock. So if you can pop in and say hello, it'd be really appreciated. You will be missed this afternoon, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, Lavosa, yeah. I know, and I do really enjoy doing the streams. So like I say, this week I'll do one on Friday, then week after it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as well as the Saturdays. I tend to finish work really between 3 and 5. Come on, get something to eat. Like I say, if people want it, I will definitely do a live stream, say from 8 till 9 in the evenings, just for an hour really, and see how it goes. That could always stretch into 8 till 10 as well, I suppose. But yeah, it's been really good today. The chat's been really good, and I'm enjoying it. It's nice to see you in as well, Lavo. So thanks for joining us. Another guy that's popped in a few times as well. It's really good here. But yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. I think it's going to be. I think the club meets throughout the week will probably be Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, even when I finish work, because like there's quite a few people coming in and the community's growing, and that's kind of what I want. That's what I want the community to grow. It'd be great when you can just come in. I don't even have to sometimes sit in front of the screen, just people talking away, and if I have to break off and do something, the community is brilliant in here. I do videos that come out on a Friday afternoon at 3:15, and I do release shorts. I am easing back on the shorts at the moment, guys, just to just want to test something. I have a feeling that the shorts are hindering my long form content, so I'm kind of knocking the shorts on the head for a month just to see if it just improves, because the YouTube algorithms are a nightmare to crack, and I do everything that everyone says do, but it doesn't help. So I'm just trying my own method. The plug, to be perfectly honest, everything's over filtered. To be perfectly honest, I don't really bother. I don't ever really have ammonia spikes, mate. I don't. Say everything's well over filtered. The plants do a great job of keeping your water quality great as well. And I do regular water changes weekly. Every week it's water changes. Kind of love it, but feeding is fun, mate. I love feeding time, and my feeding regime is a little bit crazy, really. If I see a new food, buy it. It's kind of what I do, and kind of love it. I feed. I have a massive array of different foods. I use tropic flakes. I use the fluval bug bites. At the moment, I'm on a Tetra tablet that I just let sink to the bottom for the cories. I use bee pollen, which I dilute in water. I kind of use that in my shrimp tanks a lot if there's fry in any of my tanks. I get some warm water, not too hot, just a little bit of warm water, a few pieces of bee pollen in there, kind of stir it up a little bit. They'll dissolve in the water, and I kind of pour that into my shrimp tank, and the shrimp go mad because it just breaks down to these little molecules. And yeah, the shrimp love it. And like I say, it's good for fry as well. I have a brine shrimp hatchery that bubbles away, so I feed live brine shrimp once a week nowadays, and I also feed frozen. I do mainly feed frozen nowadays. I let that defrost. I get these multi-packs, so there's bloodworm, brine shrimp, cyclops, and daphnia. So they get fed that nowadays pretty much daily, and they love it, and it's really healthy. I try to offer as much of a mixed diet as possible. Say the bee pollens are really, really good food. It's full of protein. It's really, really good, really healthy. Thanks, Mexicali. Yes, click the notification, guys. And for those who aren't subscribed to the channel, yes, click it. If you can click the subscribe button now, that'd be great. And click the notification button because it will tell you when I go live. So yeah, good. I'm glad you've done that, mate. It's nice you've said as well because it gives me a chance to put the word out. Alok Kashyap, thank you for joining us today, mate. Good evening. Hope you are well. And whereabouts in the world are you? Good evening. I take it you're more Europe over to like India way, are you? I'm not sure. Thanks for joining us today, though. That's right, Mexicali. The plants just do such a great job for the filtration, and like mine are all heavily planted. And this one will be even more planted because I bought some plants that are coming on Friday for that. But they just do such a great job. And like the rainbow fish tank is now 3.5 years old. So the amount of beneficial bacteria build up in that, takes care of any kind of ammonia straight away. Same with this. This one's like 2.5, 3 years old, and I think the same. The amount of beneficial bacteria in there just takes care of any problems. I think that's why I get away with doing quite large water changes as well. Lightning Lotus, thank you for joining us today. It's nice for you to take some time out of your day and pop in, especially with the name of Lotus, because you are tagging on to my favourite plant in the aquarium. Do you like my lotuses? Done some research into the Madagascar. See, Madagascans go quite large, don't they? I would not recommend anything less than something that's 4 foot in length. People go on about capacity, but for me, it's rainbows, it's length, because they need to get that. They need to get a bit of a good swim going on it. I do have a couple of Madagascans, and they do like a bit of length, mate. So I'd say nothing less than 4 foot in length. And if I remember rightly, Madagascans aren't so keen on massively strong light. So if you can offer them a little bit of shelter from the light, that's good. And yeah, if I remember rightly, I'm pretty sure Madagascans don't like as much of a flow. But apart from that, give them loads of plants, mate, and your Madagascans will be happy as. Give them a load of plants so they can spawn into them, and you'll have some happy fish there. The plug, 10% water change. I do 40% on my rainbows, mate, weekly, because rainbow fish do really benefit from an injection of fresh water all the time, just because they kind of, in the natural habitat, they're a stream and lake fish, so they get a constant flow of fresh water. So it's recommended like 40 to 50%. 10% on the normal community tank. So yeah, 10%. The rainbow fish gets 10% weekly, and the CO2 tank gets 10% weekly. Sometimes I go a little bit more than that because they get fertilized daily because of the plant growth, because of the plants in there. So if you're fertilizing all the time, it is advised to do water changes anyway, just to get them nitrate levels down. How to get rid of algae? What type of algae, buddy? The best way is, depending on what state it is, if you've got massive green water, then water change and blackout. But if you just want to reduce it, you're never going to get rid of algae completely, buddy. This hobby is one of those things. Algae will grow, but reduce your light, reduce how much you feed your fish. The more nutrients that you add into the water, then your algae will love it. More live plants, let those live plants compete. If live plants are taking the nutrients out of the water, the algae won't get a chance. And yeah, like the plug says there, algae eaters, mollies, black mollies will quite gladly munch away at blackbeard algae. Otocinclus, they're a great addition to every single freshwater aquarium. Otocinclus, the capacity that they eat through algae is awesome. They always say no more than 8 as well, because otherwise they'll end up starving, because that's how ferocious they eat. Massive favourite for myself is the Amano shrimp. I do love Amano shrimp. There's just certain fish you can't put shrimp with. So like, I can't have Amano shrimp in my rainbow tank or my angel tank, because they'll just become food for those fish. So yeah, and then your snails as well, mate. Yeah, great. Siamese algae eaters. You are right. There's a bit of thing with Siamese algae eaters though. You just got to make sure you're buying Siamese algae eaters and not flying foxes. Because there's quite a lot of aquariums that will sell flying foxes as Siamese algae eaters, and they don't eat algae. You just got to watch, because they are very, very similar. I love Amano shrimp, the plug. I really do. I think they're awesome. They're when I first bought them, so obviously you'll know more than anything the plug anyway, because I'll have mentioned this already in the streams. But I am not a fan of spiders. They freak me out. Even the smallest of spiders freak me out. And I'm quite a big lad, you know. And a few weeks ago at work, there was a spider in my van, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And where I was delivering, the woman came out and took the spider out. So quite embarrassing. But I don't do spiders at all. And I'd put the amino shrimp in, and I look at it, and it kind of freaked me out because the legs are very spiderish. I'm used to them now. I try not to look at the legs as much. Yeah, I think it's the legs that freak me out. I don't really know why. But amino shrimp are just workhorses, aren't they? I have amino shrimp in my CO2 tank, and I have them in my shrimp tank, just because they do a great job. And I'll be honest, every time I go into my local fish store, if they've got amino shrimp in, I do tend to buy a few just for each tank anyway. Just add 2 because I don't think you can ever have enough. But you just got to watch, haven't you, because of jumpers. Lil Shay, thanks for joining us today. Really nice of you to spend time of put some time from your day into us to say hello. The Lotus Tiger plant, is it easy to care for? They are quite easy, mate. Yeah, they take a little bit of work to try and train them. If you want them to get bushy like that one, they do take a little bit of work. But if you go onto my channel, I do a Lotus Tiger Lily care guide. So I won't go into it massively now. There is a Tiger Lily care guide on there. That's well worth watching. They're a bulb plant, so you don't bury the bulb. You just kind of got to wedge the bulb on the surface until it roots. And with a little bit of work, and it's, when I say a little bit of work, mate, literally probably a minute every now and again, a minute, just to take off any old leaves. That once the leaves start getting holes in them, just trim them off as near to the bulb as possible. Trim them off. If it's sending runners out to the top, if you want it to be bushy like that one, then trim them runners off as well. Don't let it get to the surface. See, with the Lotus Tiger Lily, you can kind of train it. You can either have it bushy like that one, or you can have it like semi-bushy at the bottom and loads of lilies on the top. Depends if you want to use it as a surface plant, if you will. But if you let the runners get to the surface, then it won't produce as many lilies at the bottom. So I just like mine looking like that because it's pretty spectacular. I don't let anything get to the surface. But yeah, mate, dead easy to look after. I think they are actually classed as an easy plant. And you don't need massively strong lighting for them to go that red, because the tank behind me is mainly Anubias based, so the lights are turned quite down really. So they're not massively bright lights for the Lotus to get that red. They're small now, but they get large. Yeah, mate, they do, I think. Oh, the Madagascan, they do grow. I think they do grow quite large. Is it that the one that grows up to 15? They do grow quite large. Just bear with us, guys. I'm just gonna turn you around. Let's unplug. I'm gonna try and get a sneaky picture of, give you a sneaky look at the redfin thresher. There he is. I'll try and get as close as I can. But he's pretty spectacular. He's awesome. He really is. I can't believe he's let us get this close, to be perfectly honest. But that is one pretty gorgeous fish. He does always come out, in all fairness, but he normally darts away. Just want to plug us back in. I don't want to lose power. Happy days, and we're back. Yeah, so there's that's the redfin thresher. He's been in that tank now. I think probably he's only been in there about 12 months. I did have a sailfin pleco because they do grow quite big as well, the sailfins. But I was looking for a mate for him, so I say him. I don't actually know if he's male or female. I took a photograph of him, and I took the photograph obviously on my phone to the shop, and I was trying to find out whether he was. Anyway, I got home that day and he passed away. He died. Don't really know why. So that was quite a thing. So I ended up replacing him with the red fin. But again, I don't know if it's male or female, but it'd be nice to get the opposite sex in there and maybe get a bit of breeding action on that going as well. Yeah, they do require a light source to plug. They do. Yeah, they're not going to do without a light. They just don't need massively strong light. Sammy Fire, I don't know what you've said in the past, mate, so I won't say anything about that comment you've put there. But we all have our moments, don't we? We all have our moments. Welcome back. We do all have our moments. So, in fact, welcome. Thanks for saying that, the plug. Welcome back. So, come on, Sammy Fire. Why? What have you done? Well, I am a little bit back on. Yeah, it's okay. I'm catching up on the. I'm catching up on the chat. Lil Shay, not a problem, mate. Anytime we can help. That's what I want to grow in this community. I want this community to grow to like a worldwide fish club at the end of the day. I don't know everything, and I'm always like willing on with this hobby. I'm willing to learn everything, and I'll always say and never show you how to do things. I'll just show you how I do things and what works for me. And as we all know in this hobby, not everything works all the time for everybody, you know. So that's the good thing about having loads of different people in and go, I tried that, it didn't work. I tried this and this did, you know. So hopefully we can build that community up to do that. Team Tempest, thank you for joining us today. Hello from Stock, Essex, UK. Excellent, buddy. We've got someone in here from the UK. I'm Manchester. Hope you are well today. And what's it like down there at the moment? It's quite cold up here in Manchester, I'll be honest. I know Soft Taco, isn't he? He's stunning, isn't it? I call him he. I don't know if it's male or female, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it's a belting fish. And like I say, he's always out. He's always out. All my plecos come out quite often, apart from my golden nugget. And the golden nuggets pain me. They pain me because I don't know if they're in there. I've never had an pneumonia spike to say that 2 plecos have died in there, or even 1 pleco has died in there because of the caves. I've never seen a body, and so I don't know if they are in there. I bought them around about 12 months ago, and I actually took a photograph and a bit of video footage of one in December the 23rd, because obviously the date is stamped to the photographs. And that is the last time I saw any of my golden nuggets. So I don't know. And I even like in the morning, I come in and the lights are out. I come in quietly and see if I can see them, but just never there. I feed Rapashi gel food at night when the lights go out, just before I go to bed. So like half an hour before I go to bed, I'll put some Rapashi gel food in. Not every night, but it's like maybe once, twice a week. And I just wait around. Nothing. So it's a mystery. It's a mystery I will not really know until I ever see them or break the tank down at some point and see if they're there. But I have no intention of breaking that tank down because it's looking awesome. Thanks, the plug. Yes, guys, if anyone can click the like button to get the word out there that we're growing this fish club, that'd be appreciated. Cheers, the plug. Really appreciate your efforts. I really do, mate. Team Tempest, 14 degrees here, on and off rain. Yeah, pretty much the same here. Manchester, the rain's more on than off. It's been a bit horrendous around here recently. The weather was that bad. I don't actually know if this is why it happened, but the weather's been pretty bad around here to the point where not that far away from where we are, a truck fell off a bridge, motorway bridge. I don't know whether that was weather related or not, but if it was weather related, it wouldn't surprise me because that's how bad the weather's been around here recently. Diogo, thanks, Steve. I hope you well, actually, mate. I know you came in early. I don't know if you've been around all the time. But, you feed your fish different types of food. For example, when you feed your tetras food, is that just for the tetras or is it just for... No, mate. They'll all eat anything really. Fish. I know you do get some fussy eaters, don't you? But pretty much anything that's alive is hardwired for food. So when I feed my tanks, I don't specifically feed a certain food for one type of fish. In a way, I don't. Technically, so right, I'll go through my feeding. So when I feed dried food, I will feed. I put a little bit of Tetra Flake in there. I do the small pellet fluval bug bites. I feed a tablet food. So once I've put the flake in there and the rainbows are busy trying to get the flake, I'll drop 3 like tablet form food that you can stick onto the glass, but I just drop them down like one on either side of the tank and one in the middle, and kind of hope that the rainbows don't see that floating down. Otherwise, they get it in the mouth and they swim off with it, and it just goes wherever. I get that down for the cories. So I do kind of target feed my cories, and same goes for the shrimp as well. You kind of, if you've got like cories in with your shrimp and you feed your shrimp, your cories are going to be all over that. So you do have to kind of like, that's why I feed the bee pollen, just to make sure that the cories are getting that food, the shrimp are getting that food. Because the molecules are that small, they go all over the tank, and then you see all your shrimp come out. So it is a great way, actually, mate. And no, mate, but all the food, like the live food, you'll see, sometimes I might see one of my celestial pearl Daniels swimming around with a piece of brine shrimp in its mouth that's nearly as big as itself, you know, but they soon get through it somehow. I don't know how, but they do. Yeah, you do just use the same food, mate. I think all these foods are just basically targeted to fish. I know you can buy like better foods. You can buy a better food. I do have a better food. I think really it's targeted more for the better because it floats, and obviously a better is more of a surface eater. So it's just solely because it floats on the top, and that's how I think there's like better foods, and there are shrimp foods as well. I use the shrimp sticks, and I've got some nettle balls as well, which I'll feed them tonight. The nettle balls. Red or blue, mate? Well, I am a red. To be honest, I've not watched football for a good few years now. Kind of life gets in the way, and it kind of hurts my soul when players that are on £250,000 a week refuse to play for your club because they've had a fallout with your manager, like Paul Pogba. For instance, when Jose Mourinho was at United, refused to play because he had an argument with his boss. If I did that in my job, where I'm not on £250,000 a week, I can assure you of that. But if I did that in my job, I'd be out the door straight away. And that proper annoys me with football, mate. They're on such good money and they're so precious. It's just like, kind of does your head in. So I used to watch football when you'd have some proper hard men of football and they'd take you out, like Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones wouldn't last 2 minutes in today's game. He'd be red carded before he even kicked off. And like, you know, it's just one of them things now, mate. You see someone sneezes in the crowd and half your team fall over rubbing the leg. And it kind of gets a little bit after a bit. More into my boxing and UFC nowadays. Or I'll be perfectly honest. You know what sport I like watching more than anything at this moment in time? Slap fighting. Has anyone ever seen the slap fighting videos that come around on Facebook? They must have watched them. They are like, don't know how much money I'd want to be able to take a slap off some of them guys. So that slap fighting is amazing. People get slapped into next week. Yeah, I've just checked out that comment, mate, that you didn't let it come through. Good on you. Good on you. You do. It's weird, you know. I used to get targeted with that kind of comment quite a lot, and I used to just ban the people doing it, and then eventually it did go away. But I'm not. I won't go into what it said, but it's weird, isn't it? I think the aquarium streams kind of attract that kind of message. I don't have platies, Bodge. No, thanks for joining us today, buddy. Really appreciate it. I think I might just bear with me. I'm may have just missed a little bit. Brian Crown, thanks for joining us today, mate. I've just missed your message, buddy. I've just gone back to where I was. I do have plecos, yes, mate. I have a redfin thresher pleco in my rainbow fish tank. In the tank behind me, I have a breeding pair of starlight plecos. I have a green phantom pleco, and I think there's 2 clown plecos and not clown plecos, gold nugget plecos in there as well. Just never come out. So yeah, I do have plecos, mate. I've got 6 or 7 altogether, and in my CO2 tank, I have a little clown pleco that buzzes around. Sammy Fire, yeah. To be perfectly honest, mate, with this hobby, I kind of look at where you're spending money on certain things. So soil, your substrate, I do believe you should be buying the best substrate, because that's whatever your roots are going into, you want that to be as the best as possible. That's in my personal opinion. If you want the best results, start off with a great foundation. And then food. I'm not really one for buying cheap food. So when I got one of my tanks, I did get given a tub of this cheap flake food, and it's still sat there. I won't use it. It'll never get used. I don't even know why it's still there. I've just bin it because it won't get used, because I don't buy cheap food for myself, and I don't expect my pets to have cheap food either. I just believe whatever you feeding them, if it's good quality, give them the best chance. One thing I do is I do dose sometimes my frozen food when it's defrosting. I'll dose it with a bit of Seachem garlic guard, which is great for parasites. So I do kind of give them garlic guard, and it makes the frozen food smell pretty good, because I like the smell of garlic guard. It smells all right. Well, it's not. It doesn't smell like. It's just that garlicky smell in it. It's just got a nice hint of smell with it. Quality over money, yeah, mate. Sometimes the real expensive ones aren't the best quality, are they? But I just go down for the branded. So I've always been a Tetra person. I've always been under the belief that Tetra is better than the other ones. And the Fluval Bug Bite range. To be honest, next time I buy a flake, I'll probably end up getting the Fluval Bug Bite flake. But we'll see. Got to leave my options open. You never know. One Tetra might come along one day and want to sponsor me. So I've got to leave my options open. But the Fluval Bug Bite range is great. My rainbows love it because it's like that black fly larva as well. It's really good. It's really good because like their natural diet technique really is like flies and bugs that drop into the water. So the Fluval Bug Bite range for a dried food kind of replicates quite a lot of fish's diets in the wild, doesn't it? It's good gear. Don't know what it doesn't smell that great though. Bodge Hubbard, I know I did mention you before. Thanks for joining us today, buddy. Do you get cold water and tropical platies? Well, I think they class them as temperate platies, don't they? It's not really fish that I go after that very often, but and I think they class them as a temperate. So I think they're kind of like room temperature, but you can put them in tropical tanks. You see them in tropical tanks all the time. Years ago, I used to have platies in my tropical tank, and it was never a problem. But nowadays, they do seem to class them as a temperate. So whether science has said, look, these fish are better off at these conditions, because obviously the higher the water temperature, the faster the fish's metabolism. The faster the fish's metabolism, the quicker it dies. At the end of the day, it will go through its life cycle a lot faster. So I suppose the lower the temperature, they may last longer. Maybe that's the problem with platies, why the temperature does see them off a little bit quicker. I'm not sure. Lightning Lotus, have a great day. If you are leaving us, thanks for joining us today, mate. If you're not, if you're just wishing everyone a happy day to everybody. Everybody that's in at the moment, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you could do, that'd be really, really good. If you can share, that's also a great way of trying to spread the word for this fish club. Team Tempest, yeah, mate. 40 years of wind up. It's just changed so much. See, I had some really good years with being a United fan. Obviously, I was around with a class of '92 and all the time they played for United with Beckham and Giggs and Butt and Scholes. They were amazing. But now it's just, well, the diving as well, that kind of hurts my soul. If you're on £250,000 a week, why do you need to cheat? If I was a football manager and one of my players dived and he was on £250,000 a week, I'd be docking his wage that week. Like, I don't want cheats. Pay £250,000 a week for your skill, not for you don't need to cheat if you're on skills. It's only the same as taking cheating content into an exam, in my opinion. Simple as. Yes, I do hope everyone's having a great day as well. Hope everyone's enjoying the stream, to be perfectly honest. Ivor Deventer, thanks for joining us today. You love fish? Yes, you are in the right place then, mate, because this is the place to be now for the next few afternoons, especially. This live fish club meet is going to be a regular thing weekly, I think. Next couple of weeks, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 o'clock. We'll see how that goes. And then when I go back to work in a couple of weeks, we may just move the time to a little bit later in the day and maybe be like 8 p.m. British times. Hopefully we can build up this community and spread knowledge and learn. I'm here to learn. I'm here to give a bit of knowledge out as well. But I'm here to learn because there's so many things I know nothing about. Like earlier on, someone was asking about discus, and I've never had discus, so I wouldn't even think of offering any advice about discus. But at the time when the community grows, if there's some discus keepers there, then they can like educate us all. Sammy Fire, you live in Iran. I hope you are safe over there, buddy. And he said that this is the best for 6,000 Toman or $6. Right, I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, buddy. Are you still on about the fish? Was it an expensive fish, buddy? Yeah. What was it that you bought anyway? How much was that? The expensive fish? You're not into the slap fighting team, no. I do like it, mate. It's just something a bit different. And some of them are quite funny as well. Oh, do you live near Eddie Earn? I'm not that far away from Tyson Fury, to be perfectly honest. I say not that far. I think it's about 40, 50 miles away. But I believe if you do go to to Lancaster where he is. You see him quite regular. He's a bit of a character in it, although sometimes can be a bit of a fool. But yeah, I've got into the slap fight, mate. It's just something a bit different. But it's surprising how many people try and cheat at that as well. Brian Crown, I did have a blue Phantom, mate. Well, I had a blue Panac, which I think they are slightly different. I had a blue Panac, and he was my most expensive fish. And when I put him in, something went drastically wrong, and everything in my tank died, pretty much. And then about 2 days after everything had died, he died. And the water tests were right. It was just one of them things, mate. But I did have a blue Phantom, mate, but a blue Panac. I've got green Phantoms, green Phantom. I do like my plecos, I do. I just kind of begrudge spending some of the money on them like I did with the gold nuggets. And then bought these 2 gold nuggets thinking that they're going to be out. I know they hide away a bit, but once they get used to you, they're going to be out. And they just never come out. And I kind of wish I'd got something else that you could see, you know. Hi, Kane. Kane Open, thanks for joining us today. It's nice that you could take a bit of time out of your day to pop in and say hello. Thanks, mate. Yeah, the setup's looking good, mate. It is. It is an amazing tank, to be perfectly honest. I spent a lot of time building it before I put fish in there. There is some pictures on my channel of what it was like before water and plants went in there, because I spent quite a lot of time. So they're all tree trunks, and I spent a lot of time doing the root work. So I bought like 5 packs of spiderwood roots, and I tipped them all out on the floor. And each piece of root was put around multi-points of all the rocks to see, because of the bends on the wood. I wanted the bends on the wood to go around the bends of the rocks as much as possible, so it looked like the root had grown around the rock. And I spent days just doing the root work. And it does look great. It does. Thanks for subscribing, Kane. It's yeah, click that bell button as well, mate. It'll keep you up to date. I release videos, long form videos, every Friday afternoon at 3:15, British summertime. And I do a live stream on a Saturday afternoon. The next couple of weeks, the live streams during the weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, are a bit of an additional thing while I'm off work. I've took a couple of weeks vacation. But if they are successful, which they are doing really, really well, I'm going to, I'll just shift the time from 2 o'clock more to like 8 p.m. I'll do an hour, maybe 2 hours of these meets, because it's try to grow a community here, Kane, of fish keepers to come along and for us all to educate each other, really, and have a bit of a laugh. And today we've even been discussing a little bit about football as well. So yeah, it's been really good today. Kane, my favourite fish. So I do have quite a lot of different rainbow fish. So, and my channel is rainbow fish orientated. But if you just have a community tank, my videos will help you out regarding that as well, because rainbow fish are kind of like the ultimate community tank fish. So if you just have community tank or community aquarium, it is great to watch some of my videos as well. But I am a rainbow fish fan. I've got numerous different ones. I think my favourite rainbow fish, there's 3 really that are up there at the moment, really up there at the top. The Bozeman, which is obviously, I think, pretty much everyone's favourite rainbow because they're just sort of spectacular colours. The Park and Sonai, which is just another beautiful fish with great colours, and Susie. That's Susie rainbow fish. Susie rainbow fish, I think, is my favourite rainbow fish. I did show earlier on, and it wasn't showing great colours. But later on, hopefully later on in the stream today, if he starts showing his colours, I'll show you him again then, because he goes this, like, at the moment, he kind of goes this pinky orangey colour. And he's so, like, spectacular. But as they get older, they'll go to more of a real, like, bright, fiery orange. And yeah, they are just a beautiful fish, mate. Soft tackle, bug bite, it is. It's a great food, mate. It is a great food. All my fish love it. And I'll be honest, my shrimp love it as well. If I put bug bites in, I tend to see like an amano shrimp swimming around like some crazy maniac with holding a full fluval bug bite all to himself. It's quite funny to see, really. They are quite comical, amano shrimp, because as soon as the food comes out, they're out. They might intercept something that's sinking, and they just like, and they're off. It's like, I've got my food. Don't care about you lot. I'm done. The fish in the photo, yeah, mate. Well, that's the Bozeman. Yeah, I'm actually. I want a new logo designing, but I want to know if there's a program where I can turn a picture that I take into an AI picture for a new logo, and then obviously I'll try and get a few T-shirts printed up with that as well. I did put it out before on Instagram and Facebook that I was looking for someone to either design a thing or is there a program I can get that will design it? Someone's come back and I can do it for $120. I don't know. We'll see. It's not. If I can get up a program that can do it for and I can do it myself, then I'll do it myself. But I'm not well into all these AI cartoon picture editing things. What they do, is it easy or what? I don't know. But they will colour up, mate. As the rainbows get older, they colour up more. When I went into my local fish store yesterday, they had a tank of young Bozeman's and they were all silver. And that's kind of where I like to buy them, when they're all that young, and you know, watch them grow. If I had the room, I would have bought some, but I'm well stocked on that tank, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I don't really want politics talk in here, mate. To be perfectly honest, politics talk plug can just like ruin friendships, can't it? Because everyone has their own view on how the country should be run, and everyone's wrong apart from me. So, Brian, where can you get a blue phantom pleco now? It depends, really. I take it you're in the UK. It depends what fish stores around near you. I have a really good relationship with the Maidenhead Aquatics that I go into, and that's the one near Wigan. And if I want something, you know, and then again, the local fish store that I went in yesterday, I think if I wanted anything, they'd order it, because I went in there yesterday for Rhino Kai Mini and they were like, we can order some, but we won't be ordering for 2 weeks. So I just ended up ordering it online. You can order fish online and have them delivered, and I'll be honest, mate, it's something I've never done. It's something I've never done, not for the companies that send the fish out, because I've been into there's quite a large fish store that I used to go in regular, and they do a lot of mail order, and I see how they send the fish out with heat packs and all that, and I don't have a problem with how they send them out. The only problem that I have for having fish delivered is more the delivery companies. When I have fertilizer delivered, it is such a drama getting them to leave it outside my door when I'm not in. I live in an apartment, it's all cameraed up. They won't leave it outside my door. They are an absolute nightmare. And I know when you're having fish delivered, you've got to be there to take them in. But even when I'm at home, getting home delivery is a nightmare. So for me to get fish delivered, it's always a bit of a red flag for the delivery people more than anything. But yeah, look online, mate, and see if you can get them online. You somewhere will sell them online. If not, like I say, you made an Ed Aquatics. If there's one local to you, they will try and get them in. Just be aware. I don't think they travel too great. So if you're gonna put them in, I think you're better off keeping them in temperatures around about 82, because I know the Panax, I'm not sure if the Phantoms are the same, but the Panax are a bit prone to white spot and they don't travel too great. Just bear that in mind if you do get them, you know. I'll get some advice on traveling, because like some fish just don't travel too great. To me, Corys don't travel too great either. Now, here's one for you guys. So in the UK, 2-3 years ago, if you went in any store, everybody had salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. I don't know why I call them salt and pepper. They have peppered Corys. And now, can't get them anywhere. I even asked a girl in the shop yesterday, and she was like, they're not even on the list to buy. They haven't been for like 12 months. Why have peppered Corys seem to have just like vanished off the shelves, if you will? Don't get it. If anyone knows why, say so in the chat, guys. Ethan Potter, how are you, mate? It's nice to see you pop up, buddy. I hope you're well, actually, mate. I've not seen you for a while. I hope you're taking care of yourself, buddy. Nice of you to pop in and say hello as well. I hope you're well. I know you still see Reese, because I know Reese and Kate are going to be having a little boy soon, aren't they? So I hope you do still see them, guys. And it's nice of you to pop in, Ethan. It's been a while. I'm not working there either anymore, mate. I've gone there. I've left there now. Nice of you to pop in, though, buddy. Good to see you. So what about lighting, guys? For those that have the planted tanks, what kind of light systems are you running? Because I've kind of gone down the Fluval line for all my lights. They're all Fluval, just so because I can use them on the app, and they all come on at exactly the same time, and they all go off at exactly the same time. So hence why I've gone down the Fluval route. But what are you guys using? Like Haiger? What are Haiger lights like? One of my mates on YouTube, he's just kind of been sponsored by Haiger. I'm just wondering what are their lights like, if anyone's used them, or what lights do you use? Because I know MB uses like just cheap security lights kind of thing, doesn't it? But I don't know what all you lot are using. Oh, mate, are you still struggling with your stomach then, Ethan? I take it. It's not good to see that you've been poorly, mate. Are you still struggling with your stomach, mate? And where are you up to on that? Cut gluten out of your diet, mate. It'll help. Did with me. But yeah, I'm not even going to mention them, mate. I'm not even going to mention them, because I'm actually there's a kind of a lawsuit going on with DHL and me at the moment, so I won't mention that anymore. But it's bad, mate, innit? I struggle with my stomach, mate. My stomach, it's one of the reasons why I'm off for the next 2 weeks. My stomach's just been a nightmare recently. When you when you eat food and everything makes you ill, it's not good, mate, is it? So yeah, as I was saying, lights. What kind of lighting are we all using, guys? Do you go for the cheaper lights, or do you go for the more expensive? You'll notice, guys, I struggle with my eyes. Wish I could take them out and wash them. That's the problem, Ethan. It's when they don't know what's wrong with you, and you've just got to keep going through it all. Like, you just got to keep. it's hard work, mate, isn't it? Because I know exactly. Well, I don't know exactly what you're going through, mate, because I think you're worse than me. But I kind of know what you're going through. It's trouble. You're 12 stone now. Wow, mate, because you're proper tall, aren't you? Yeah, mate. It's not good, is it? It's not good. Hopefully, though, buddy, they get to the bottom of that pretty soon, because that's been going on a while now, hasn't it? It's been going on a while. So everyone that's in at the moment, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, would really appreciate it if you just dink that subscribe button and the notification button. Notification button will let you know that I do release videos at 3:15 on a Friday afternoon, and I do a regular live stream on Saturday afternoons from around about 2:30. And at the moment, we're doing the Fish Club, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2, which will continue next week. And then after that, I think the time will probably move more to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the evening, British summertime. And we'll take it from there, because we're trying to grow this community. So if you do like it, to make sure you subscribe, guys, and click on that like button. Spread the love. $5 years, mate. It's a long time, isn't it, for your stomach more than anything, and it just affects everything on it. Where I'm working now, believe it or not, I'm now like when we were where we were taking 2.5 ton of stuff into houses with 2 of us. I'm now in a van on my own, moving 4 ton of stuff every day, which I have to handball in on my own. And some days with my stomach, mate, job's a nightmare. It's just horrible. Cheers, Ethan. Thanks for the sub, buddy. It's nice of you. I want to know why you've not subbed to me before. I'm only joking. I'm only joking, mate. I hope you're well anyway, buddy. I hope. Oh my God, I know, mate. It's and I'm still normally done for 3 o'clock, mate. I still get round. It's just fun. I mean, you just got to crack on. But I am knackered. I'm actually going to book myself into a massage. I'm going to go for a full massage because my body is like, it's just aches. That's why I want to do this full time, so rest my aching old body. Got some new plants coming on Friday, guys, as well, and so hopefully they're here before we start the stream, because then I can do the planting on live on the stream. Or if they don't, hopefully they come during the stream. But I'm hoping that they come before, and then I can get all of them all prepped and ready to go. But yeah, I've got some Altananthera rhinocai mini coming for the CO2 tank, and I got like a grass coming for the angel tank to go at the front. Try to get something that's easy to grow that will carpet over time. And I know carpeting is quite difficult because there's no CO2 running in that tank. But you never know, one day. I would like to run CO2 in that, to be honest. I know, mate. I think I need to chill out as well. It takes it out of you, mate, carrying 4 ton of stuff into... I'm balling 4 ton of stuff into shops every day. It takes it out of you. It's like an all-day gym routine, to be perfectly honest. It's like one place that I do, for every bag of stuff that I take in, takes 3 minutes per bag, and they'll order like 50 bags. So you do the maths, how long I'm parked there next to a police station. Yeah, it's not only you carrying, you walking quite a distance with it as well. Yeah, so hopefully the new plants come Friday, and then we can get them all done, ready for the stream on Friday. And we'll take it from there. I'd like to tell you which ones they are, but I have forgot. I'm not great with the the Latin names, which a lot of the plants have, I'm just not great at pronouncing them, which proves difficult for the video that I had planned for this week. I've had to change my plan for. I had a video planned for this week for the best plants to put in a rainbow fish tank, and I was going to do it in 3 different ways. Just a rainbow fish tank for the best plants that you can just get hold of, and then for it's like, what would be the best plants for a rainbow fish tank where all the rainbow fish originate in Australia? Because a lot of people like to get, like, if they go for Australian fish, Australian plants to go with it. So you've got that full, like, try to build that setting for with what they're used to. So I'd split it up into 3 different ways. For the ones in from Madagascar, the plants you can get from Madagascar, the plants for Australian rainbow fish, and plants for like your Indonesian rainbow fish, and then plants for that you could just get hold of. But I can't pronounce them all. I'm not great with the Latin. So because I can't pronounce them all, it just makes the video look rubbish. And I'd recommend this plant here that's coming along the screen there, because I can't pronounce it. So I'm trying to find the common names of them all first before I make the video. So I've had to kind of redo what the video is going to be about this week, which I've still not filmed. For that reason, because I've been trying to source the plants as much as possible. So the video was interesting, you know, but if I can't pronounce them all, it's one of those, isn't it? You don't want 10 minutes of me mispronouncing Latin names for plants, do you? Or maybe you do. Maybe you do. Might be funny. Don't know. Got a few people in. So all you guys that are in at the moment, you're all fish keepers or interested in fish. Do you run the planted tanks? And if you do run the planted tanks, what fertilizers are you all using? I use 2 different fertilizers in my tanks, to be perfectly honest. I use a Neutral Plus in the larger tanks because it's a little bit cheaper. And then in the CO2 tank, I'm using the APT3, which I'd love to use in all my tanks, but APT3 is not exactly cheap. So what fertilizers are you guys using? I do root tab regular. Every 3 months I use root tabs. But they're quite expensive, especially when you're running a few tanks. So I am at the moment in the process of, I've made my own root tabs. I'm just testing them at the moment to make sure that they don't cause any kind of ammonia spikes and things like that in the tank. And I've got one underneath one of my lotuses. So it's just to see how that does on it. And if they work out well and you don't get an ammonia spike, I will do a video on how to make your own root tabs, because if it's successful, I think you can make thousands of root tabs for about £15. Whereas to buy root tabs, it's like £20 for 25 root tabs in it. It's not exactly cheap. So if you can make your own, thousands of them at a different price, then all good. The only problem is I can't guarantee that they're going to be shrimp safe, because I don't want to test them in my shrimp tank. So I don't know if they'd be shrimp safe, but they will definitely be good for for your larger tanks, especially. I have run a little test to see what kind of if you do get ammonia spikes on them, and you do get a little bit of ammonia come out of them. But I did the test side by side with a Tropica root tab, and the ammonia spike that gave off for the concentration of water was a lot more than what the ammonia spike I got off my own made ones. So now it's just to see if the Lotus Tiger Lily does well on it, then I will do a video, like I say, see how they go. Money saving tips in this hobby. As I say, whatever fertilizers you're all using. I do love the planted side. of the aquarium hobby. It's because where I live, I don't have a garden, so it's like I have 4 aquatic gardens, if you will. It's just a shame I can't sit out in them. I will do a little tour of my tanks, guys, so you know, so you can see what's going on. Just let me unclip the power, and I will dink you around. So we'll start with the shrimp tank. So the shrimp tank got quite a lot of work done on it yesterday. It still needs a little bit. I do let this go though. I don't really do much work on the shrimp tank. It's red Neo Caridina shrimp that are in there, and like I say, I don't really do much work in it. I spent a couple of hours last night taking the floating plants out and the moss that was in there, because it was a floating moss and it wasn't looking as good as what I wanted it to look. And then we'll go over to the rainbow tank. I did lag a little bit there, guys. I hope it didn't spoil anything. So the rainbow tank there, all fully planted, and so the substrate in here is tropical soil, which I should have put it in bags really, so you can see the little bits of soil on the top. And I know you can get it out with a magnet, but who's got time for that? So that's the Lotus Tiger Lily in the rainbow tank. I did cut it right back recently. Got your male and female Bozeman's here. And there is a couple of my blue Lake Tubus there. It's quite a good shot, that, actually, because the Madagascan rainbow fish there at the top, looking pretty dapper. So yeah, the male Bozeman's, they're just striking. They're just unbelievable. And so this one here is one of the Seuses. And I'm kind of hoping that they come up to colour a little bit more. Then there's another Susie there. You can see he's kind of getting that little like pink hue with him now a little bit. He's coming to colour. His tail's colouring up now. These do colour up a little bit more at night or more later on in the evening, which is a bit crazy. Now, if you can see them there. So that's a little neon goby. There is 4 of them. No, 6 of those in here. And to be perfectly honest, they tend to be all together. So he's just come out on his own. But he's pretty awesome as well. And then the star of the tank is that beauty there, black red-tailed shark. He's about 4 years old now. Can be a little bit boisterous, especially towards meal times. 3 corridors there just hanging around. That's kind of what's going on in that tank. And then in the next one is the angelfish aquarium, which I'll just kind of pan out a little bit so you can get a good look at that. That's a rainbow fish tank, and the red plant is a Lotus Tiger Lily. Pretty spectacular. All live, no plastic plants in here, guys. This is the rainbow fish tank, like I say. Recently just spawned these angels as well. Heavily planted with Anubias. There's vowels in here, vowels and errors, is it? However we pronounce it. And then over to the CO2 tank. So the Rhinokai Mini is a little bit patchy at the moment. I did let the Anubias kind of get overgrown, so it did strip the light off the Rhinokai. So hopefully by weekend we'll start getting that sorted out. The dwarf hairgrass is carpeting really well. The Rhinocae, once I get that replanted, will be a lot better. As you can see, the Anubias light is just bushing out so much, which is what I wanted it to do, but I just let it go, and kind of it killed off the Rhinocae. Got a lovely Bucephalandra growing there. Another great Anubias. Then behind that is the Palustrus Super Red. I can't remember the name of the gold plant in the middle. And Palustrus Super Red there. I have got a build video coming out pretty soon, just when they grow in a little bit better for the thumbnail. I can release the video then. Just like I say, I'm just waiting for the thumbnail picture for it to grow in. There's no point putting a picture of a tank on the thumbnail that's not growing in properly. Thanks, Snizzle. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really, they are my pride and joy, mate, these aquariums. They really are. And the CO2 thing is, it's a learning curve, because it's something I started about 18 months ago, and I've just rebuilt the tank and gone for, I know Anubias aren't hard plants to grow, but I'm just trying to go up levels with the plants. So the gold plant is an advanced, so I'm really testing myself there. I may just root tab that a little bit anyway. I will be using the Tropica root tabs in that tank, as I say, because I don't know if the root tabs that I make are shrimp safe. And I'm building a colony of red Neocaridina cherry shrimp in there as well. So I built a trap I've got red Neocaridina shrimp in the shrimp tank, and I built a little trap to trap some shrimp and put them over into that tank safely. So I am building a colony up in there. There is a couple of females that are saddled, and there's a couple that are buried in the CO2 tank. So I'm hoping that over the next few weeks I'll start seeing some little dinky baby shrimp. Diogo, no mate, I don't really. The only sea chem product I use currently is Garlic Guard, and that's just through personal choice. There's nothing about it. I've never used sea chem prime. I do use a fluval dechlorinator. I can't remember which one it is. It's I think it's fluval. Everything's in here, out of the way. Yeah, I use. Oh, sorry. I'm currently using the API tap water conditioner. I thought it was fluval. I know why I thought it was fluval, because I dispense it in the tank in that, because it's got squirty head. But yeah, I use the API tap water conditioner. I used to use API everything. I used to use the API leaf zone. I cycled the tanks using the API beneficial bacteria. But yeah, leaf zone, I know you only dose it once a week though, I suppose. But it's quite expensive. Couldn't really afford it, so I went down a different way for the fertilizer. But yeah, I'd use. I think with the dechlorinator, mate, any will do as long as it works, and you're all good. You're all good. Yeah, I know sea chem is a great make, isn't it? It's just I think when I've set up my tanks, just not been really available. I've just gone for maybe the cheaper option for things like that. I just believe spending money on good money on your soil and money on your food. I think that's kind of my rules for the basics of having a healthy aquarium. If you give your plants decent soil to root into, then I don't really think there's going to be a problem with your plants growing. Can we see some of your snails? To be perfectly honest, Sizzle, I don't really keep snails. I do have snails. I have some ramshorn snails, but not really. I'll have a look if you. We can have a quick. See if there's any that are visible in the rainbow tank, for sure. I don't carry many snails, mate, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, they're just like little ramshorn snails. There's one down there, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not. Say there's a few on the leaves there, mate, but you can't really see them that great. But I don't. As for like nearite snails, I did have some nearite snails. I had one. It was like a tire track. I think we would have called a tire track nearite snail. I had him and I called him Gary because my mate's son asked me to call him Gary, so obviously he got called Gary. And but yeah, a lot of my tanks, you see, like the angelfish tank behind me, that you'll see the odd snail will appear there, but angelfish kind of like to eat them, and I think the crebensis eat them as well. And as for the rainbow fish tank, they munch on snails as well. So yeah, snails are a bit of a no-go in my tanks, mate. I do have snails in the CO2 tank, like I say, and snails in the shrimp tank, but not a massive colony because I don't overfeed. I'm not sure on the grass, Nizzle. The grass on the CO2 tank is just a dwarf hair grass, and I've ordered like a longer grass for the angelfish tank, and I can't think what it is, and I can't check the email for the order because it's on my phone. But it's like a longer grass. I'm not even sure if it'll carpet, but it'll just look good in that tank. Because what I'll do like little clumps outside the entrances of the caves, so it should look pretty good. But yeah, Snizzle, on the CO2 tank, it's just dwarf hair grass. It's a learning curve with the CO2, mate. Getting things. So originally, I've tried so many pots of Monte Carlo, and I struggle growing Monte Carlo. I don't know if it's my water. I've tried a few different things with Monte Carlo. Can't get it to even survive, let alone carpet. So this time around, I went for the dwarf hair grass and put little clumps in, and that's done really well. And I probably need to throw a few root tabs in there as well, because the roots on that hair grass have gone crazy. They've just like proper taken over. So before I plant the new rhinocai that's coming, I'll be definitely root tabbing. Not a problem, Plug. Not a problem. We all have our life commitments, mate, don't we? It's nice to see that you stayed on as mod though as well, mate. That was good. I hope you've got your shopping done anyway, mate. Blooming kids, eh? Spoiling our fun. Brian, can I show you the plecos? Right, mate. I will try, buddy. I will try. So there is a starlight out now. So let me just dink you round. So I don't know if you'd be able to... bloody glare of the window. That's a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so if you can see him there, so that's the female starlight pleco. I think it's just... No, she's still there. So that's the female starlight. I have had one batch of babies from them, but they seem to have stopped breeding for some crazy reason. Now, is there any other? I've just noticed. So if you can see, it's hard to see there. The gravel kind of goes up in a pile, which means that these two are spawning again. She can tell you are anyway, because look how the redness of her belly. When her belly goes that red, she's ready to go. So there'll be probably a new batch of eggs coming from them two over the next few days, I would have thought. We've got another female here that's belly's reddening up, and that is a fella. Now he's the one that I was talking about earlier. He's kind of, can't really see in there. What was it? Can't really see in there, but he's dug an hole in there when there's caves readily available for them to use. Like I say, there is 9 in this aquarium, so why do you have to dig their own is beyond me. As you can see there, this is the male of the 2 that breed the most of the angelfish in this tank. That's the male, and that beauty there is the female. And they just produce so much. I just wish if I had the capacity to put another tank so these angels could breed in it successfully, then I most definitely would. And because I could make a small fortune on just angelfish fry. Because these, like, honestly, they're like machines. The way they breed, it's incredible. Again, down here, more selection of cories. I kind of, I have a thing for cories, guys, as well. They're pretty cool. I would like to get some more. I'd like to get some more cardinals in there as well. There's about 20 cardinals in that tank at the moment, and I'll be honest, I'd like to get it up to about 50 because I'm a bit of a lover of guys. Are we still there? Hello, are we still there? Yeah, sorry. Messing about with the phone, I actually locked the screen and I thought I might have lost you. So yeah, I kind of. So as anyone knows who's got an aquarium, your aquariums will look great when the lights come on, but they don't really look any better than when it's dark outside and the room's dark and the lights are on. The tank just then becomes its own, doesn't it? And when it's dark and around the room and the tank's on, and you've got a big shoal of cardinals with that like electric red and electric blue, they look amazing. Especially with like this tank here, because it's got a black background. It's phenomenal. So yeah, I would like to at least double the amount of cories that are in there. Too many sweets today, mate. Is that right? Is that the kids? Yeah. Or you? Have you been having too many sweets? My mum's a bit of a sweet addict, mate. She likes her toffees. The other week, that in the UK, there's a program called In the Factory, Greg Wallace, and they're at the jelly bean factory, and I watched the jelly bean factory, and then my mum had watched it as well at her house, and was like, couldn't believe the amount of work that went into making jelly beans. It was quite amazing. Anyway, we ended up sending her to my local town, Bury Centre there, to the old sweet shop, and she's got a load of jelly beans. So yeah, mate, I can't complain about too many sweets at the moment because I've been munching jelly beans now for the past few weeks. The carnival is nuts right now. Is there a carnival around your way there at the moment, mate? Yeah, that's fantastic. Is it a peaceful carnival or is there trouble? Brian, can you put angelfish with black neon tetra? I don't see why not, mate. Yeah. Any larger tetras, really. I try and stay clear of your neon tetras and the smaller tetras because as your angels get bigger, they are going to look at them as being a source of food. But your cardinals grow a little bit. They do grow a little bit bigger, so a little bit harder for your angels to eat. But yeah, if they're a decent size, mate, and your angels aren't massively big, yeah, you'll get away with it. I just don't put angels with anything bigger that occupy the same area of the tank. I do have this in this aquarium as in the rainbow fish tank. I get away with it because the angels are more. The angels kind of tend to hang around more at the top, and the cribs around the bottom. So kind of get away with it. So they don't mix. They don't occupy the same part of the tank, so they never really hassle each other. You prefer standard neon? To be honest, I do. I used to, but I've kind of gone towards the cardinals nowadays, just because you get the full red line and the full blue line. But yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of cardinals. And those golden silver tetras that I've got in the rainbow tank, they are something special. And to be honest, the red phantoms in here as well. The red phantoms, they've really come on, and still got the 12. I think I bought 12. I bought 12 of the red phantoms, and I've still got all, which is quite good as well for not to lose any. I'd like to see my koi throw a few babies out as well. We should really get away with it because it's so heavily planted. To be honest, there could be baby kois in there, and just, again, kois are quite hidden away, aren't they? They are hidden. They do hide away quite a lot. That's why I kind of like the albino kois, because they're kind of short-sighted. They're out all the time. They're a great dither fish, actually, koi albinos, because they do help bring out the shy fish. Maybe I should put albino kois in there. It might help me get those plecos out. It's a good point, actually. Yeah, it looks like I might be putting 6 albino kois in there to see if the dither fish effect will work on them kois. Yeah, Brian, you should be all right with your angelfish, your bristlenose plecos. They're not anything. I know you have to watch if you have multiple plecos, but if you can break that line of sight for them, it's not a problem. Like I say, I've got 5 plecos in here, and I have never seen any of the plecos battling with each other because there's so many lines of sight break. And to be honest, I've actually seen 2 starlights and 2 green phantoms on one piece of wood once. And yeah, they've never really competed. I think you just got to watch with fish that can be aggressive. The more plants you put in there, that aggression can soon fade away. Because as soon as the line of sight is broke, they tend to forget what they're aggressive about. Rokasar Pravin, hi brother. Thanks for joining us today, my friend. It's nice to see you take some time out of your busy day to come and spend it with us. It's good of you to pop up and say hello. Hope you are well. Going back to you, Brian, with your black neons, even depending on the size of your aquarium, obviously, but with your black neons there, even a shoal of 40 or 50 of them, they just look spectacular. Shoaling fish look amazing. Just bear with us 1 second, guys. I'm just going to go and get a drink. That's the beauty of having your lounge and your kitchen all in the same room. Everything's available. You also have a planted tank, do you, Rokasar? So what fish do you keep, buddy, in your planted tank? How big's your tank? What do you keep in it? I just think the heavily planted side does help. It helps so much. It helps stop aggression. Plants just offer so much to keep your water clean. They give you fish somewhere to retract to if they feel threatened, or if you know when you walk past sometimes and they all go woo, just like start off and do a runner. It just gives them somewhere safe to retract to. Helps reduce that stress. If you've got fish that are aggressive, it helps with that breaking the line of sight. It just eases any kind of tensions. As I say, they keep your water clean, and aesthetically they look amazing. So yeah, planted aquarium for me, mate, is definitely the way forward. I have 4 heavily planted, and they're going to get heavier because I've got more plants coming. So you keep guppies, yeah, mate. They're beautiful fish, aren't they? Guppies. It's something I've not really kept for a while, and I do have endlers in the rainbow fish tank, but they were in there before the rainbow fish were put in there, and they just keep their own little community going. Breed like rabbits, probably supply the rainbow fish with a little bit of food when they fry, and enough fry. Manage to survive with all the plants that are in there. So yeah, I've had a constant supply of endlers for a good couple of years, really. There's always endlers in there. There's always a few babies knocking about. Do you breed? Do you just keep male guppies, mate, or do you let them breed? What types? So many different types of guppy into now. There's some beautiful guppies out there. Always striking when you go in and see the amount of different types of guppies. If you've got a tank where you've just got male guppies, then you can have such a striking display. It's just a shame the females are so drab, to be perfectly honest. But again, there's another money maker, aren't there? Really, if you want to go down that route. Some exotic guppy names, I wouldn't know where to start, mate. Wouldn't know where to start. I know you have your snakes, but yeah, I wouldn't know where to start. Not exactly. Not really mine. I've had some. I've had some coys before, some koi guppies, tuxedos. Yeah, I think I have seen tuxedos. And but as for the names, buddy, I'm not exactly sure. Not something guppies aren't something I've had for years. Like I say, I have endless, but when I first set the rainbow tank up, it was just for a community tank, really. Now it's turned into like a rainbow fish community tank. So on the last stream, guys, we kind of talked about testing our water, and obviously we all test for our pHs, and we all test for the ammonia, and the nitrite, and the nitrate regular, don't we? And hopefully we all test our source water as well to make sure before water change we're not putting bad water back into our tanks. But what about the KH and the GH, guys? Do any of you test for that? Do any of you actually take the KH and the GH thing seriously? Because years ago, when I first started in the hobby over 40 years ago, KH and GH was never an issue. It was never really something that you bothered with. In all fairness, the bloody water tests weren't. But nowadays, it's quite a thing, KH and GH. And the water in my area, I test the water in my area, and it's 0 KH, 0 GH. So I do add a little bit of buffer because I know the KH helps with the pH, helps regulate your pH. But a lot of people don't bother adding. And like the other day, we were talking, and there's a guy from California, and he's like, his water is like 180 GH. He keeps his Neocaridina shrimp in that. He says they thrive in that. Whereas my Neocaridina shrimp are living in water with 0 GH. So just interesting to see that. So I know we're different sides of the world, but it's one of them, innit? It makes you start thinking if it's a myth. Hi, Aqua Hobbyist. Thanks for joining us today. It's nice that you could take some time out of your busy schedule to pop in and say hello today. I hope you are well. I am in Manchester in the UK. So it's an interesting thing with the cage and GH because, you know, there's a few shops around my way which go in. Some advise you to keep an eye on your KH and GH, and on the other shops are like, why are you bothering with that? Because I know there's a belief that if the fish are bred in your area, then they're going to be bred in your water and it's not a problem. But I don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Not a problem. Aqua Hobbyist try to reply to everybody who makes a comment on here, especially at the moment because it's just a growing community at the moment. So I do, yeah, mate. I do try to reply to everybody. If you've got any questions, mate, I'll try and answer them. And if I can't answer them, then hopefully somebody in the chat can. But that's just kind of how we want it to grow, to be perfectly honest. The plug, you cooking dinner? What are you cooking, mate? Sounds like a plan. Oh, you're cooking something nice. Your mic is cutting in and out. Is it? Is it cutting in and out today? Doesn't normally, to be perfectly honest. It's normally pretty good because I did upgrade the mic. Let's just move it to the front just in case that's what the problem is. Because I did upgrade the mic I did the first stream and the sound wasn't exactly brilliant, but I have upgraded the mic. So hopefully, just moving it to the front, mate, hopefully that will sort it out. But that's the first. Spag bol, mate. Is the sound doing good now, Aquabius? Brilliant. Cheers. I know, mate. That is it. It should be better now. I think it's probably me because I have it round the side there. I only have it round the side because I don't want it falling in the tank when I'm doing maintenance on a Saturday. So it's like the go-to place to put it on the side. But yeah, it's probably scratching on the stubble a little bit. Slightly laggy as well, is it? Yeah, to be honest, I've had a couple of lags today for the phone, which is a little bit weird, really. What I'll do before Friday's stream, I will just reset my router. My router might just need turning off and resetting. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Luke. Thanks for letting us know. And also, welcome to the stream, buddy. It's nice that you could join us today. So, yeah, thanks for popping in. In the UK, it's currently 16:42, mate, 20 to 5. Is it distorted again, Ian? I wonder what's going on. I wonder if the battery's about to go on it. Just bear with us. Let's. I'll change microphone. Okay, guys. Well, I'll change mic, so we'll see how that goes. And it might just be the battery going on that because we've been on for like 2.5 hours. No, mate, I'm not married. I don't think I'd have 4 aquariums in my lounge if I was married, to be perfectly honest. But no, mate, no, I'm not married, buddy. No. Hopefully, though, the sound's better now, guys. If we can see how that goes over the next few minutes to see. Hopefully, that gets better. Just want to make sure everything's right because I was moving the phone around before. Make sure everything's plugged in okay. So yeah, so we've got the stream will come at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, guys. And cheers, plug. Thanks, mate. It probably is just the battery on the thing. I bought two, to be perfectly honest. It was fully charged before I came on, but say I've been on for like 165 minutes. That can't be right. I've been on a while. We came on at 2, so yeah, it's like a minute. Wow. Yeah, we've been on quite a while. So it could just be a battery issue. Nah, mate, this is it, innit? It's the sound's been great though. Ian comes in on every stream, sits there all the time, but I do actually know him, so it's yeah, she's you'll know how the stream's been. They kind of keep me up to date, Ian, mate. It's one not to worry about. They keep me making sure that everything's right. It is a family member actually, that mate. It's my mum and dad. So, well, my mum uses my dad's email. See, it started again. I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. Let's just, yeah, what's going on? I don't know actually, mate. It could just be the fact that I may just have to restart the router. I am going to be knocking it on the head anyway. I'm on my way down to the plug anyway, so some spag bowl with him. Doesn't know it yet, but I am. Do you like a bit of spag bowl, mate? It's one of my favourites. Is that what it's like? Yeah, it's hooked up to the Wi-Fi. So I don't get it. Is it still playing up? If it's playing up, I'll just cut the stream short for today and see how it goes. Say I can restart the router. I should have probably restarted the router before I started it today. I've just changed my from Sky over to EE, which is like BT, and the router's just been 10 times better. So I have never unplugged it, just let it go. Yeah, thanks, Luke. Yeah, it's a crazy one. I do a video on it actually on water parameters because it's something I try to I address the stream of it all the time because I'm trying to find out what other people do because I don't know if it's just a myth. Like I say, some people change their they use buffers in the water and some people don't. I know water changes all over the country. I know it does. The water's really bad down the south of UK where I am, it's quite soft. So I know that does make a difference. But as for, because they're all farm bred, as the water parameters they prefer in the wild kind of like been bred out of them, would be nice. Would be nice to know. Thanks for subbing as well, buddy. If anybody who's currently watching who hasn't subbed, then just click that sub button if you could, and click the like button because the like button just helps spread the word, and hopefully the like button kind of pings the YouTube algorithm to say, look, this guy's trying his best here to do his best to educate people in the aquarium hobby. There's a lot of interference. Yeah, all I can put it down to is maybe the router just needs restarting, and all I can kind of put it down to. But if it's going to continue to be bad, then I don't get it. I don't get why it's doing this to us now. Say I've just upgraded the mics. This is the first day though. Since upgraded the mics, we've had a bit of a problem. So all I can put it down to is a router issue. But next time around, I will definitely be restarting the router before we go live, just to try and eradicate any of those problems. You're in Kent, Luke? Yeah. So yeah, no, mate. We used to holiday down in Kent quite often. We used to do Margate and Cliftonville. And I know the water is like proper hard down there, isn't it? So like, what do you do regarding your water? Do you have to use buffers or do you not? What type of fish do you put in there? Because like really, technically, like the rainbow fish is more soft water, so it'd be interesting to see if you are putting things like rainbow fish into hard water, see if that has been bred out of them. It's a bit of one, isn't it? It's, you know, sometimes, especially nowadays, with everything, a lot of misinformation, misinforming people just so they can make money out of it. It makes me wonder whether the GH and KH thing is that kind of thing. Like when I started in the hobby, so I would only have been about 8 or 9 year old, and I'm 51 now. You didn't use dechlorinators. You didn't even consider KH and GH. To be perfectly honest, someone said KH and GH when I was 8 years old. I wouldn't have a clue what they were going on about. You never used dechlorinators. Didn't use dechlorinators up to even when I was in my 20s in the hobby. We didn't use dechlorinators. You just did water changes, and that was it. I never crashed any aquariums, never had algae blooms or anything like that. I do dechlorinate my water now, I do, but I only dechlorinate water because we're kind of instructed to do that nowadays. Again, does it? I know why we dechlorinate water, because there's stuff in the water that makes tap water safe for us to drink, and so it kills the stuff that you breed, that you grow in your aquarium. So you kind of have to take the dechlorinator out. I understand that, but we never had to do it back in the day. So it's just one of those. Is like, wonder why we have to do it now. And like, as for others, like again, back in the day, we didn't test for ammonia, and you know, back in the day, and I know a lot of aquarium shops still say this now. Set up your aquarium, run it for a couple of days, and there you go. You can throw fish in it. And a lot still recommend you do that. A lot of them still recommend you do that. And then you see them, people come on, and they'll be like things like this, where people will come on and go, the tank's been set up for 3 days. I've thrown 20 guppies in it. And 2 days later, they're all dead. The aquarium told me I could put fish in the 2 days after. And then like, but which you know you can do, and I know you can do more so now with products like from Seachem and the Goop, is it called Gloop or Goop or whatever it is. I know you can, it detoxifies all the badness. So I know things have changed slightly, but it's one of those, isn't it? Is it all just corporate companies trying to make money out of us all? It makes you wonder. It does make you wonder. I had my eyes opened years ago, guys. So years ago, I had one tank set up, and I wanted to set up another tank. And I went to a wholesaler's, which is like not that far away from where I live. And they quite clearly tell you that if you've not got a license to sell pets, they won't let you in. Because obviously you need a license to sell pets. So it's a wholesalers. They don't want people from just hobbyists going in there and buying 100 cardinals for £5, because that's kind of the price that they were. I was shocked at the price of what wholesalers were selling fish at. So I'd gone down to this wholesalers and they wouldn't let me in. But I was like, I said, well, I'm trying to make up a business plan, mate. I'm setting up a business, hiring fish tanks to restaurants, schools, care homes, and things like that. Hiring them out to them, supplying them with fish, and doing the upkeep on them. But I need to come in to find out the prices and things like that. And as soon as he thought I was doing this business, which in all fairness, I was looking at setting up a business, doing that at the time. So they kind of let me in. And that's where I set up my piranha aquarium. So I bought a 3-foot aquarium. I got all the plants, the substrate, the wood, a canister filter, a light, and I walked out of that wholesaler's, no word of a lie, cost me £80. Okay, that was like 25 years ago. But £80 for that amount of gear was way below what I would have paid getting it in the shops. And like I say, plants, it was like bunches of 15 plants, and they'd be like £2. And then you'd go to the shop and they'd be selling bunches of like 3 plants for £5. So you can see the markup was amazing back in the day. I don't know whether it's still like that. Might have to try and con my way back into that wholesalers. It's got to be worth a try on it, especially if I set up another tank. So right, so you have rummy nose tetras. I love rummy nose tetras, Luke. I do, because to me a rummy nose tetra is probably one of the best schooling fish that you can get. They all, if you buy rummy nose tetras, they're probably one of the easiest ones to count, because you buy a dozen rummy nose tetras, you're not thinking, right, there's 2 there, there's 2 there, there's 3 there, and they're all together. They're one of the easiest fish to count because they school so well. I kind of like my rummy noses, mate. I do. Don't think I've currently got any at the moment, but they are one of the best schooling fish. Again, can imagine a group of 50 rummy nose tetras in a large tank. Just look phenomenal. Shrimp, I do love my shrimp as well, Luke. I do have a shrimp tank running, which has now become successful. It took ages to get it successful though. I think with shrimp, if you're doing shrimp, you need to make sure your tank's aged. A lot of us just rush in and like for a couple of weeks, and there's just not enough bacteria for them to feed on. So, right, Brian, I will answer your question, but I'm old school, mate, and I'm more litres. So the rainbow fish tank is 240 litre. As for gallons, I'm not 100% sure where we are on the gallons on that, mate. Something when I do my videos, it's something I have to Google. The angelfish is a 300 litre. Them two are both 4 foot in length. The shrimp tank that I have, that's just a 1 foot, basic 1 foot tank. And then I have a fluval spec 60 litre. That's like a 2 foot tank, but a little bit of that is a compartment that's separated off for the filtration system. So in the fluval specs, if you've never actually seen a fluval spec, they do have a little compartment. So you put all your filter media in there, your heater sits in there, and the pump for your filter sits in there. So it's really good. So actually your tank, you don't see any pipes, there's no wires or anything. Obviously there's wires if you do the CO2 or you've got an air in there, but really good piece of kit, and fluval flex and fluval specs. 60 litre, that's when I've got the CO2 running in there. When I feel like I'm confident with the CO2, I may put a CO2 system on the angel tank as well, and then try getting that carpet going on that I was talking about, because I really would like to get it carpeting for sure. But I watch the plants carpet, it's great. With the dwarf airgrass, I'm just like, I've got a lawn and I cut it weekly. I have to trim it. I love it. I do love it. I love the way the plants carpet. I've got great success with some crypts as well. They just seem to appear all over the tank, and I do try and like dig them out and replant them. I did it the other week on the live stream where I've put crypts all at the front. And get your plants like I'll be honest, like my dad was a very keen gardener, and he was into his tropical fish as well. So if my dad could see now, sadly, like my dad passed away 3 years ago, but my dad could see now the amount of live plants that are available to this hobby. Wow, my dad would be over the moon. Because like I say, a keen gardener, keen fish keeper, combining them both. Kanagiri, is it Kanagiri? I apologise if I pronounce your name wrong there, but it's hello, thanks for joining the stream today. It's nice that you could take some time out of your busy day to pop in and say hello. This is hopefully going to be a regular Fish Club meeting. Today we've been on for like 3 hours now, and I will be ending the stream pretty soon anyway, mate, so I'm going to go and get some food. But it has been a great community that's growing in here today. It's probably one of the better days today. There's been quite a few people in here today, so it's been really, really good. Can we use organic potting soil instead of aqua soil? It has been done, but yeah, you can use these organic soils. You can just make sure that when you do, what I would do with any soil nowadays, I'd always put the soil in a filter media bag. That just stops it getting up to the surface, especially some of the compost. If you're using a compost that's quite dry, you don't want it breaking through the surface. So I do it with aqua soil now as well. So I'm a bit of a one for keep swapping my plants, mate. So what I don't want to do, I did it with the rainbow fish tank. When I swap the plants and you pull a plant up and the roots pull the soil up, and I know you can get rid of the soil with a magnet, but who's got time to do all that really? And so yeah, if you're using that kind of soil, make sure it goes into a filter media bag, because they're all plastic, even the zip's plastic, so there's no rusting. And I'd make sure you cap it with a really thick layer of substrate, like a gravel or a sand, just to make sure you're capping it in. And then once it's up and running, mate, watch out for that ammonia. I know a lot of soils can give you a really bad ammonia spike. Hi, mate. It's Abhishek. Is it Abhishek? I'm really sorry if I mispronounced your name there, buddy. So the 2 foot tank is the fluval. It's a fluval spec 60 litre, and in that I would unplug us, but we've kind of just got the sound back right, so I don't want to move us about again, just in case it was that was causing the problems. But it's a CO2 tank, so basically at the front it's dwarf hairgrass. Behind that I have Alternanthera rhinicae mini, which is a red plant, and that will grow all along, so it separates the green with a red. Behind that I've built a wall, and on that is Anubias. Then behind that I have 2 columns of Palustrius super red, and then this gold plant that sits in the middle. There is a build video for that tank coming out over the next couple of weeks, buddy. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, just click the subscribe button and the bell, and you will be alerted when that one comes out, mate. So it's going to be a really good video. That it'll be my first proper tank build video. Whereas my styles on the videos have changed a little bit, and a lot of that's been shot already. So it's going to be a little bit of a mad one, because MD makes these fish tank build videos look good and look easy to do. And I'll be honest with you, they're not easy to do. So credit to him, he does a really good job of his build videos and makes it look like the videos are easy to do, and they're not easy to do. So my style of videos changed a little bit, and it's changed since I did the build video. So that'll be a bit of a mad one really regarding the build video. But once the new plant's just growing a little bit, so I can get a decent thumbnail, I'll be releasing the video. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I have got a new plant coming for that tank on Friday. So we'll do the planting of that on Friday. Hopefully it comes before the stream, so we can get the planting of that done while we're on stream. So I'm going to call you Canai. I'm just going to call you Canai because it's easiest to pronounce. Yeah, there are beginner plants that you can grow in sand, mate. If you've got soil underneath, it makes it a little bit better. If you've just got sand, what I would say to you, mate, there is just put some root tabs in there, just so there's some nutrients in there. And then you've got your easy plants. There's plenty of easy plants out there. There's plants that you don't even have to put into the substrate. So you've got your epiphyte plants like Java ferns and Anubias. They're quite an easy plant to grow. Believe it or not, that lotus tiger lily there, pretty easy to grow. As long as you train it to grow bushy, but it depends how you want it to grow. If you want it to grow on a sort of surface plant, just let it grow. Again, that's quite an easy plant to grow. It's a bulb plant which will sit on the top of the sand. Like I say, if you just root tab it underneath, a few root tabs, just so there's nutrients in there, your plants will do okay. It's not a red devil angel, Charu. Thanks for joining us today, buddy, as well. Thanks for passing in. I'm not sure if it's not just like a little koi angel. I just bought 6 angels when they were young, and they've kind of all grown out to be different types of angels. But he is absolutely stunning and breed regular all the time. Angels are like rabbits, they breed all the time. Hey, not a problem, can I try to answer everybody, especially at the moment where there's not so many people, on the chat and that, so I do get that opportunity to answer. But I'll try and answer everybody, mate. I do regularly go back through the chat to make sure I've not missed anybody. I don't see the point of having a fish club. I'm trying to form this fish club, this online fish club, so people all over the world can join us. And if you're going to ignore people, then there's no point. You want people to come back. I want you to come. If you come on the internet and you see that I'm doing a live stream, I'd like you to come and join us. Join the community, ask questions. You ask questions. People may ask questions that I don't know much about, but you might have a knowledge on that. Earlier on in the stream today, someone asked about discus. It's not something I've ever had, and unfortunately at the time there was no one in the chat that could answer that question. But as the community grows, we may have people that have either got discus or have had discus in the past, and they can offer that information. That's what it's all about. It's not all about me giving out information. I'd like to be here learning off you guys as well. So there's many different ways of doing moss, and I'll be honest with you, I've tried two out of the 3 ways that I know for doing moss. One, gluing it on, which is great if you're doing it on a new setup. It's not as good, I suppose, if you need to put moss on something that's already in the water like that now. So then you go down the cotton. So gluing the moss is okay, but you kind of doesn't get many fixture points. So over time, it comes a little bit loose and not looking that great. And I think the same goes when you attach moss with cotton. I think over time it kind of comes loose and it just doesn't look great. But there's a different way of doing moss, and I really do want to try it. I really want to try it, but I'd need a tank set up and I haven't got the space for it. And that's to get the moss and blend it in water with a soup blender, and just blend it up so you've got like really a pot of green water, and then whatever you want the moss to grow on. So if you've got a piece of wood that you want the moss to grow on, you have it in the tank and you'll have a little bit of water at the bottom of the tank, so there's like the humidity level in the tank. And you paint the green water, you paint on the wood, and what that is just loads of little bits of moss, and you cover it over with cling film so it gets so the humidity level rises in that tank. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, the moss will start growing and it attaches itself to the wood. And I think, because I've never done it, I have seen a video on it, and I think that's probably the best way of dealing with moss, because it actually attaches itself to the wood. And then as it grows, you can trim it, and like moss scapes can just look fantastic I think if you've got the time to do it that way, I definitely think painting moss, liquidized moss onto your surface is definitely the way forward. Yeah, to be honest with you, the video I saw, he used 1 cup of tissue culture moss, and he blended it, and he blended it and painted it all over quite a decent size of wood, because you don't need that much. And then over the time, it just grew, and it covered the entire piece of wood, so it was actually proper attached to it. So it's something I'd love to try, because it looked a moss scape look fantastic. I think a moss scape can look as striking as any other, fully planted aquarium. I really do. I think today, guys, we're going to call it a day, because I kind of could do with going to the loo, and I'm getting pretty peckish. So I would just like to say thanks to everybody that's passed by today, and anyone that's still in here. Great if you could start a new project. I know, mate, I want to do it. I would like to do it, maybe in time. It's just finding space to start that kind of thing. Like I say, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for joining me today. The next Fish Club meeting will be at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And hopefully you can drop in and see us. I do have a video dropping as well Friday afternoon, and I think that's going to be based around the feeding of rainbow fish and what to feed them. It wasn't the video I had planned to do, but I need to do a lot more research into the video that I planned to do. So that'll be out in a few weeks' time. So thanks for joining us today. Take care, keep safe, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you Friday. Cheers, guys. Take care.